Peter.
Peter.
Here.
Oh,
Peter.
fuck, Lois.
What's this here?
Lois, I'm gonna come.
Oh yeah.
Lois is coming.
Lois.
Oh, Lois.
Oh,
I'm coming.
You know,
holy shit,
the
Lois.
thing about doing this at 2:30 in the afternoon is that you'd think that we'd have,
better
that
material.
there'd be a different tone.
I
But
just
we're
woke
acting
up.
like it's midnight.
I just woke up. There's
Why
no
she-
material.
Why should your personality be dictated by the time of day?
Because in the morning I have no personality.
Oh,
Because
shit.
I become a freak starting at 10 p.m. on.
I should get a cup of
Yeah,
coffee.
that's what the Yearlies is.
I'm gonna be right
Right.
back.
I mean-
I'm gonna get a cup of coffee.
It's not the morning. It's look, realistically, we're doing this 4 hours earlier than usual? 5?
5, yeah.
Yeah.
And by
there
the time
is a
Mick,
chance-
by the time Mick gets here, it will be 4. You fellas ready?
All right,
For what?
let's go.
Why are we here?
I'll tell you what we're getting ready for, Graham. We're getting ready for welcome to the Yearly.
That was
I
the
can't
most
believe I heard
clear.
all that.
There was
That was
pain
so
coming
clear.
through that one.
That was
God
the most
bless
clear.
this mic.
Can we get a golf clap for Jordan's very clear? Hello,
Absolutely.
welcome to
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
How?
Christ.
It sounded golf.
All
club,
right.
you idiot.
I'm doing
That
a
was
joke.
That was so violent, dude.
Mick, it's called
Christ.
humor. Maybe one day you'll appreciate it.
The 1991 Yearlies
Damn.
are sponsored
there's a
by
couple-
Clancy Brown. Because if we don't sponsor him, who will?
A lot of film productions.
Tom Clancy
yeah,
Brown's Rainbow Six Siege.
91. There's an alarming trend that I want to just point out right off the bat.
Is it us not
A
being
number
alive?
a number of you have been putting 2010 games in your honorable mentions for the year 1991. It started with Graham.
Yeah.
It started with Graham because it's related to another game on this list. And then Christian, when we weren't looking, snuck one in for no reason. His entries were already set. And he's like, you know what? I want to mention this despite the fact that it's like 19 years fucking later.
I just noticed it.
I mean, look, is it ever too
Would
late
anyone
to
like to take a
appreciate-
look at my entries?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I have
no. What did you do?
Look at the
Oh,
ends of
let's
Mick's
see.
entries. I was making the banner last night for this Yearlies. And I was going through all the honorable mentions because I was using those for the front of the banner, and I was like, okay, next up, Darksiders. Let me go find the 1991 game to put on this banner, and then I'm like looking it up, and I can't find the 1991 game for this banner. So, and then it took me so long to realize, oh, that's a 2010 game.
The funny thing is,
yes.
I want to play Darksiders.
Yeah, it's a Zelda.
Oh,
Exactly.
if only someone would put in a year. Oh,
It was on my honorable mentions for 2010.
Right,
We
okay,
when
yeah.
we finish with the 90s and if we manage to get an honorable mentions round of 90s games that we missed, we'll do so. And then I think after that we're putting up one last chance. Every game that you might have missed talking about, we'll give a shot.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I'm gonna
So-
do.
What
And
That's
you'll
one of my
join us in
entries.
that episode for the Yearlies barrel scraping.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Wow.
look, this might be a bit meta.
Who would like to go first for honorable mentions?
I'll go first because if I don't go first, then I'm gonna go last.
He knows.
19.
Last shall be first, and the first shall be last. Congratulations on being
19
last, you bitch.
You know,
1991 was just as hard as 1990, honestly. But we somehow actually managed to come up with, I think, a more complete looking bracket this time. I feel like there are 16 games here, more or less. And that's good. But it started out, we weren't really sure how many games were going to end up on the bracket because Graham just kept putting up 1992 games.
yeah.
Or
And,
1989 games.
Yeah, or 1911 games.
So I went looking for like, well,
Bowling.
look, I haven't played any of these, but if we need to put things on the bracket, what are some like iconic 91 games? And what I ended up with is, because everything I care about is already on the bracket, but a bunch of games that I didn't play that I'm like, oh, these could be kind of cool on the bracket. I know that Batman on NES is a pretty beloved NES game and like one of the good Batman games, apparently. I don't know a thing about it, but
From what I know, it's just like your average like side scroller beat 'em up. Like nothing
Yeah,
like
but-
too fancy. Like it works.
I always confuse it with the pretty bad what is it? What's the term for the Mortal Kombat and Donkey Kong style of art? What's the term for that? Where they take
cel
Where
pictures.
they take the 3D model and then make
Oh,
it a
yeah.
sprite.
I don't know what the term for that is, but they did that for like a Batman SNES game, and it was really bad. And that's the only thing I think of when you say Batman NES.
Okay. I have nothing to contribute to that statement. I had considered putting Metroid 2 in my honorable mentions outright and like getting it on the bracket, but then I realized, why would I put the worst version of Metroid 2 on the bracket? It's irrelevant and probably not very good.
I put Sonic the Hedgehog on the bracket.
I know,
He
and I'm
did,
still
he
mad.
did.
Why did I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't actually care about this game, but NES Open Tournament Golf is a video game.
It tends to
So true.
And I figured if it was a video game, it would be worth talking about. It's probably bad. I never played Toe Jam and Earl, but I know people like Toe Jam and Earl. And Jordan is sitting here saying, is that a real video game or did Taylor make that up?
No.
Uh,
be.
Toe Jam and Earl, the
I-
first game in the Toe Jam and Earl series, followed up with its 2 sequels, Toe Jam and Earl and Panic on Funkotron, and Toe Jam and Earl 3, Messenger Earth. Oh, and there's also Toe Jam and Earl Back in the Groove, but that was a 2019 sort of thing.
Damn,
Another
why didn't we
2010
talk
thing,
about
right?
it in 2019?
And then if we got so desperate that
Ugh.
we had to pull whatever we fucking could, then I figured we might as well talk about Barbie on NES.
Unload your beef with Barbie on NESs. You seem to think it's you seem to just assume it's a terrible video game.
Is
I've
it?
And I
seen
think that's
it.
rather sexist of you.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And you're okay. You're right.
Dude, you've seen the games I've been playing.
Yeah,
Isn't Barbie?
and they're all bad.
Wasn't Barbie NES one of the that picture was set in this chat, and Barbie NES was like one of the highest selling or one of the most
Well, I
impactful
think that
games?
was. I don't know if that was Barbie on NES or Barbie on PC.
No, that was Barbie on NES.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was the other thing. Like when I found out that it sold copies, I'm like, all right, then good. This will get us more views, obviously, because it's a popular game.
But at what cost?
Here's the thing: Barbie NES is considered not bad.
Who do I never choose for popcorn?
Me.
Me.
I think
Yeah.
I think I do pick Mick usually, but since Mick actually has honorable mentions, I guess I should let him go.
Okay.
Well, I mean, look, Graham doesn't have any.
I do.
You don't.
Graham does.
Yeah,
We're gonna
20
hear Graham's. We're gonna.
Yeah.
She has a 2010
Yours
game.
is a 2010
So?
game.
We're gonna hear Graham's.
And
It's 1991.
And
says who?
Clanky has a dishonorable
Actually,
mention.
Jordan, it's 2034. Get with the program.
Oh,
All right, Mick, just go.
All right. Yeah. So first up, I've got Martian Memorandum. Martian Memorandum is it's an adventure game. It's the first game. It's the second game in the Tex Murphy series. We will be talking about Tex Murphy games in the future, but for now,
Is that a threat?
yes, it is.
yes.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah, we will be talking. Yeah, in an upcoming year, we will be talking about the best game in the Tex Murphy franchise. But for now, I just had to mention Martian Memorandum because it did come out this year. Yeah. Then I have Civilization, the first Civilization game, and it's great because it's the first Civilization game. There is no reason to go back and play it.
Yeah. There have been better ones.
This is the thing. If I want to play like an old school Civilization game, I'm gonna play Civ 2.
Remember when we looked at photos of Railroad Tycoon?
Yeah.
This is like, you look at Civ and you're just kind of like, why?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't necessarily say that. So actually, the game does have some interesting quirks about it that don't return in future games. I know, crazy to say, right? It has features that don't return. You have a fully customizable palace that you can build. Like, you build your own fucking palace in the game. You get to choose different parts for it. I don't think that's ever returned in another Civ game.
Also, I'd like to apologize. I didn't look at any images of Civ up until this point, so I just kind of... did just kind of assume. I'm looking at it. It actually looks kind of nice.
Yeah. Okay. Good. The majority of what I'd be saying about it is saying I'd rather be playing another Civ game.
Yeah, listen,
like,
if
Civ
Civ 6
5.
can't win, if Civ 6 can die losers round 1, what chance does Civ 1 have?
Yeah.
When are we doing the Civ bracket?
The Civlies.
The Civ. The civilians.
Civ sweep.
No, or the Sidleys. Well, because there's probably not enough Civilization games. We'll broaden out to all the Sid Meier's games, so the Sidleys.
Oh yeah.
Here, let's break it down even further and just do the countries.
I'm putting up Garth Brooks for the PS2.
Not what I thought you meant. I was gonna be like, I nominate the Federated States of Micronesia. Anyway.
Let's
yeah.
go Zimbabwe.
Yeah. Then I have Ultima Worlds of Adventure 2 Martian Dreams, which is it's an RPG where you have to try and save a number of famous Victorian figures from being trapped on Mars. It's
No relation to Martian Memorandum?
No relation at all. Also barely in relation to the rest of the Ultima franchise.
Shout out to Richard Garrett.
It does. I thought I've played this game, and I needed to look this up, just to make sure, and I found a review from 1991 that described this game as tedious, and I'm like, okay, good. It's not just a me thing. Now I want you to imagine, how tedious does a 1991 game have to be considered tedious by 1991 standards?
Nick, I'm looking at a character list of Ultima Worlds of Adventure 2 characters. We have Sherman, Yellen, Dupree, Spectre, Shadowlord, and Horse.
Yeah.
Horse! That's my horse!
Yeah.
That's my horse.
What I will give the game credit for, though, is its character creation screen, where you are interviewed by Sigmund Freud, and he asks you invasive questions about your mother and whether you like building buildings in the shape of penises.
Oh boy.
Which is a bold choice for a character creation screen. But yeah, and then I have Darksiders, which is a...
Which you just wait 19 years and you'll just...
Which is a 2010.
It seems pretty unfair to put a 2010 game up against 1991 games, but life isn't fair, so... You know.
I still think that some of the games that I actually nominated have a better chance than Darksiders.
You just wait until I play it.
Popcorn someone.
All right, popcorn. I'll popcorn Graham.
Hey, look, audience, over there. Bam! Hey, audience, I just hit you on the back of the head. You woke up and now it's 2010. It's time to talk about protocol.
Oh,
You
God.
menace to society.
Pull my YouTube video still at annotations. You can click on a box that takes you to 2010.
Okay, Graham. Here's what I thought. I thought you had listed your 2010 game as F-Zero, the 2010 game Alpha Protocol. And I was like, oh, so he's putting up a mod that he really likes.
No, I'm talking about Alpha Protocol.
Okay, then this is even stupider.
Oh, damn.
You
All right,
know
does
me.
anyone-
Can I just say, he's about to talk... Taylor, he's about to talk about Alpha Protocol, which
He's
means
not
things are
about
about
to
to
talk
get even...
about Alpha Protocol, Mick. That's the thing. I'm vetoing that choice.
No.
All right,
Shut
overruled.
up. He's about to talk about Alpha
Overruled.
Protocol. Here's the thing, Grant. Taylor, you said this is
Oh,
stupid.
okay.
He's about to talk about Alpha Protocol. It's about to get even stupider.
I'm going to just be over here in the corner vetoing this.
Okay.
Alpha Protocol is a Obsidian game released in 2010. Same year they did Fallout New Vegas.
No, we're not turning this into a pitch.
Excuse me, I don't think your veto is more than the crumbs on this
I'm
table.
muting
The Alpha
Taylor.
Protocol
Hold
footage, you
on.
whack.
Okay, Taylor's muted. I can't hear him anymore.
Wait, really?
Holy yeah, so
shit.
Alpha Protocol, like, I don't even know, like... Taylor, I don't even know what he's saying right now. I legitimately don't know.
I'm saying
Alpha
nothing.
Protocol, you play as Special Agent Michael Thornton. You have
Michael Fortnite? Sorry.
You are a member of Alpha Protocol, which is like a clandestine organization set up in the United States, like for like Black Ops, obviously. And after like a mission like goes tits up, you have to put a stop to like an evil corporation that is trying to increase tensions around the world to create another Cold War, but might be doing it too well. It might accidentally start World War III.
Any one of you could stop
every
this
mission
anytime.
that you do will affect something in later missions. Characters.
Stick with it. He's rolling.
Characters will.
Did you mute him again?
I never unmuted him. Characters will like change their relationship with you, and allies can become enemies, enemies can become allies. And also, the game doesn't work.
Oh, great. Okay, then popcorn someone.
Because like Sega decided that they were gonna, all right, we're gonna delay this game 6 months, but not give Obsidian any opportunity to actually work on it. So there's bugs and shit. A lot of like the aiming and stuff is what someone thinks a third-person shooter should be. But that being said, it is genuinely one of the most unique and creative games I have played, and I just want to talk about it.
I think I'm ready to
it's
vote.
a 2010
honestly.
game, though.
I'm ready to vote.
Okay.
No, Christian, we can't.
Yeah. Another interesting fun fact about this game is that
Oh my god.
the development team for it was previously working for Disney, making a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs prequel game. But then that got canceled, and they're like, okay, we'll make Alpha Protocol.
Fuck it.
Well, no, and they were also some of them were also working on an Aliens RPG that Sega commissioned them before that canceled.
I just want to go on record that I had the authority to mute Graham at any time and didn't, and you all chose to mute me because you're bad people.
No,
I didn't.
I
don't
just
know.
really
I thought-
wanted to hear the Alpha Protocol thing.
Yeah,
so-
Great, I'm glad that happened. Okay, if anybody has actual honorable mentions now.
Hang on, we need to get to the vote, don't we?
Yeah, Alpha
What
Protocol
vote?
versus
Why are we voting?
Alpha Protocol versus the rest of Graham's honorable mentions.
I vote for plus.
Stop this foolishness.
Foolishness is why we're here, Jordan.
No, that's different foolishness.
That's 8:30 foolishness. This is 3:30 foolishness.
You
Someone say
think you
day
have a
drinking?
choice?
Yes, okay, popcorn someone before I burst a fucking blood vessel.
Hey Clanky, how you doing?
Give me a sec.
Okay.
Blood vessel time!
Oh, did somebody say day drinking?
Okay.
1
I
sec.
don't have any. No, we gotta wait for Mick to say he's good.
The tomfoolery at moment 0.
Go ahead, Click.
Oh, okay, good. All right. So, my
All right, I'm good.
all right. So,
Person with no honorable mention says what?
What? You see, it worked. It worked for me.
Okay. So, I
Knock,
don't
knock.
have.
Interrupting cow.
Quack, silly.
Well, I don't have any honorable mentions, but I do have a dishonorable mention to The Simpsons Bart versus the Space Mutants, which is the worst game I've ever played in my life. It's a platformer, except you constantly have to go back and do these tedious tasks to get these things to stop a machine that the aliens are trying to build to destroy the world. What
Like
are
you do
these?
with heroin.
Sometimes you need to find purple things. Sometimes you need to find hats. It doesn't matter. Whatever you can find, or whatever you're told to find at the beginning of the level is what you need to find. And some of them are in such obtuse locations that are so hard to get to. And if you don't lose a single life in the first level, you're either lying or a Bart versus the Space Mutants god. This game sucks. I hate it. It's so bad. Can I popcorn somebody, please?
I just need to
Force
say,
my
I
ass
said that
and
as a
fuck my
joke, but
balls.
no, that straight up sounds like the experience of being a heroin addict and being sent
Yeah.
on quests by your dealer.
Yeah, I mean, Bart went down the bad path, I guess.
Damn, it his second game ever. That's crazy. Was it second? You would know better than that.
Bart, you taking heroin?
Who-
I'm troubled.
Scarlet, what did I find in your room? No, Mom, it's not. Okay, sorry. I'm
sorry. Do you want to try that Bart impression again?
1 sec.
Okay.
Don't have a cow, Mom.
Hang on, guys. We have to give Mick a second.
I'm good.
Okay. My Bart impression is like, "No, Mom, don't have a cow, man."
Eat my short.
That's
That's
like-
can't.
at least in the quadrant of Bart's. That close. Or
I'll take it.
Eat ass, bald
popcorn.
ass, bald eater.
Who hasn't gone? Mick's gone. Taylor's gone. Graham's gone. Christian, you're next.
I'll go again.
Okay.
I'll
I'm
go
gonna
again.
say that I will talk about some things. All of my shit that I wanted to get on got on. So Street Fighter 2, Bomberman. I had Actraiser here, but I haven't actually played it. I was gonna play it if it got on, and it did, but it's not my pick, so I prioritized other things. The only thing that didn't get on was Sunset Riders, which is a Konami arcade cowboy rootin' tootin' hootin' shootin' kind of thing. It looks fun. I didn't play it again unless it got on because it looks more fun in multiplayer than it does in single player. But I thought it looked neat. I also gave a special mention to Sonic the Hedgehog, but since it's on the bracket, I will save what I was going to say for it when that game shows up. And then finally, Donkey Kong Country Returns. I figured that it was pretty good for us. I just have a hankering. I think 19 years from now, I'm really going to want to talk about it. Honestly.
See, the thing is, if it was on the bracket, did I not put it up when we did 2010?
No, you did not.
What the fuck is wrong
We
with
were
me?
new at this then.
Do you want me to get at the list?
It sounds so
About
ominous.
what's
What?
about what's wrong with me or about 2010 games?
Take your pick.
The only problems I have are 2010 games.
All right. Are we good to get into the bracket?
No.
Actually, I think
Okay.
there's one
Well,
more
that's
game I
the
want to
Yearlies.
talk about.
I haven't been
Yeah.
going in a while.
God.
Yeah, 1 sec.
We've tomfooleried long enough.
I think I want to talk about Bart versus the Space Mutants now.
So the first matchup we have is, well, something called Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which Taylor put up around the 11th hour, versus Street Fighter 2, which is a Christian pick. Who would like to go first?
Christian, have either of us played either of these games?
I played Street
Oh,
Fighter 2.
fucking.
And you should go first.
So I have played Street Fighter 2. I've not played a lot of it, and to be honest, I kind of put Street Fighter 2 on here more because I find it to be an important game as opposed to how much I like Street Fighter. I've always been a Mortal Kombat
Right
guy
on.
myself, but Street Fighter 2 does end up being a conduit for a lot of the things that I like about like classic fighting games. And, you know, a lot of that stems from Street Fighter 2's like single player campaign. Not campaign. Single player fucking mode, I guess. And because
Just
I
an
love
arcade
the...
mode.
What's up?
We just call it arcade mode, I think.
This is fair. In Mortal Kombat, it's like Tower or something. So yeah, I love the Street Fighter 2 system of being able to just go from fighter to fighter in a globe-trotting sort of setting. Anything with like that sort of like, you know, wide variety of cultures. You know I'm a huge fan of Punch-Out Wii, so I mean that's kind of right up my alley. And I also enjoy the implementation of the bonus stages, which is also incorporated into a lot of my other favorite fighting games, like Super Smash Bros. Melee. The car is iconic. I do enjoy a lot of the Street Fighter personalities, even though I'm not a huge Street Fighter fan. And I mean, I can't not bring this up while talking about this game. I saw the Street Fighter movie recently, and
I've been wanting to watch that for a long time.
it has definitely
it's
changed.
a blast.
It has definitely changed how much I enjoy M. Bison as a character, because now I see M. Bison and I can't help but think about Raul Julia. Yeah.
Oh, he's the
You, the
best.
day Bison entered your village was the worst day of your life.
Or
He-
it was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
It was
Oh.
Tuesday.
All I know is that whenever someone brings up that movie, they feel obligated to mention that both M. Bison and Chun-Li take showers. And
My favorite part of the movie is when M. Bison takes off his hat, changes into pajamas, and then puts on another hat. That's my favorite part. But nonetheless, because the movie has made me...
channel!
the movie has definitely made me more fond of the franchise, which is I don't think anything anyone can ever say about the Street Fighter movie. But I find that I actually do appreciate it. It also, on top of everything, it does play nice. Even though I prefer other fighting game mechanics, it is a nice playing fighting game. And at the end of the day, it's also a very important game because it's one of the most important classic arcade fighters that exists next to Mortal Kombat and Tekken. and maybe some others. I'm not
And a few other I'm going to be putting up in future yearlies.
Virtual Fighter!
Virtual Fighter, let's go! Fucking 3D balls, baby, let's go!
Play Fighters!
By
That's
the
all.
way, something I find funny about Street Fighter 2. So Street Fighter 2 is the game that introduced Zangief, right? And he first shows up and he's like this super proud Soviet, wrestler. Meaning he was irrelevant for exactly 6 months because after 6 months after this game came out, the Soviet Union dissolves.
Whoops. Quick, change the channel.
Quick, change the channel.
There's an anime I really like.
Paid?
It's called High Score Girl, and it's about arcade gaming in the 90s. And in it, like Street Fighter 2 is the most prevalent game. And so both of our main characters, one of them main's Guile and the other main's Zangief. And we look at the girl's backstory, and her whole thing is that when the game came out, nobody wanted to play as Zangief, so she felt bad, so she mained him.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's this Ghouls and Ghosts game you put out?
I don't fucking know,
Ghouls.
Jordan. You
Super.
think I played Super Ghouls and Ghosts?
Yes.
Well, you'd be wrong. I put it on
Okay.
because we were out of things, and I already gave I gave Christian an extra entry because I thought that the stuff that I had was just not worth it. So I gave him an extra thing, but ultimately we still needed to have something on, so I put Super Ghouls and Ghosts on. I played Ghosts and Goblins, the NES game, and that's
It's
not
the
very
same
good.
Hell.
Well, it's not the same game. It's like the Castlevania 4 of Ghouls and Ghosts. It's like you take I feel bad for you.
Because here's the thing, I'll be honest, I looked up Super Ghouls and Ghosts and I could not tell you. It looks exactly like every other game in this franchise.
Right, look, you're Sir Arthur. Your girlfriend
Except
gets
Gargoyle's
kidnapped by the devil after you're having sex, and you go on a journey to save her. And if you take one hit, your entire armor gets stripped, and you wear around in your underwear. And you only can take 2 hits, and you have to beat the game twice to beat it. And the levels look really colorful. That's kind of the thing. Like, look, I hear the game is kind of fun. I just it's got like a fun Halloween style going for it, and Halloween
Right on.
ghouls and ghosts and spooky and
Just like
scary.
the name.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
And it's where Firebrand from the hit game Gargoyles Quest came.
Holy shit!
Yeah, no, yeah.
Does he shoot fireballs?
There is a star in this game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is we talked about Gargoyles Quest.
Yeah,
last
no, Ghosts and
time.
Goblins. It's a spin-off of the very popular Gargoyles Quest franchise.
Yes.
And also to relate this to another Yearlies, there is a boss in this game called the Storm Cesaris? Storm Cesaris, I believe it is called. It is a giant like coral squid.
You
Who
wanna
is a
spell that one
boss?
for us?
What's up?
You want to spell that one for us?
Cesaris. Storm
C-
psoriasis.
C-E-S-A.
Storm Cerebral.
Cesaris.
Storm Caesarean. Gotcha.
Storm Systematic Oppression.
Anyway,
I'm not
this
even
was
gonna
this was a boss in Mario Remix Boss Edition, and their name was Killer Coral in that game.
Yeah, that's why I asked if he shot fireballs.
Killer.
Yeah, no, you're
Wow,
right.
Jordan picked up on that?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
'Cause I heard in another game, and so I just asked, does he shoot fireballs?
He's so right for
Oh,
And-
isn't this in Super Mario Boss Rush Boss Edition?
that. Yeah,
Just say,
yeah.
Clanky, what did he just?
Sorry, my brain is so silly.
It's okay.
And anyways, that's why I put
Yeah.
Super Mario Remix Boss Edition on the bracket.
I'm glad it could go again.
Okay.
Just fucking this entry becomes a different game because I didn't play it. Look, as far as SNES game goes, it looks very much in line with the. Look, you know when you play an MS-DOS game and you hear the DOS music and you're like, yeah, that's DOS. You put Super Ghouls and Ghosts in, it's like, yeah, that's SNES.
How would you know? You
Yeah.
never put it in.
Well, yeah, but sorry, I was trying to turn that into a sex joke,
I
but
knew
I just
it.
couldn't figure it
No.
out.
No.
Predictable.
Of course.
By the way, I gotta
other-
say, you can tell this is a great NES game because it has boss monsters that have heads and necks that do this thing.
You can tell it's a good NES game because
Oh.
it's not an NES game.
Also,
It's a SNES
why does
game.
that monster look like the giant claw?
I was literally gonna say
Fuck, it's a bird!
It does look like the giant claw. And you know what's funny? Because the next game we're going to talk about does this exact same. It does the exact same thing with the neck thing. Well, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Man, the King Kong versus Godzilla movies have run on a budget.
What's the name of the bird
anyway.
from the Godzilla lobster movie? Or was that
Rio.
Son of Godzilla?
Godzilla,
I don't know.
well, both, because Son of Godzilla uses stock footage from Godzilla vs. Ebra.
I'm glad I got both of them. That's funny.
So,
Alright,
are you talking about like the giant condor thing, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
they don't even show the face of because it's such a bad fight.
We've gone off topic. Are there any other relevant points, or can we go to the vote?
I think
We can go to the vote.
Alrighty, so that means
You have to decide a voting order.
Or
I
vote
do,
Jordan.
yeah. Okay, we're going to start with Taylor. So it's going to go Taylor, Christian, Mick, Clanky, Graham. Starting with Taylor.
Street Fighter 2 definitely revolutionized the genre, and I respect that. We look at Evo, and there are these fucking insane like matchups where like someone does perfect guards at like 1 hit point to turn around an entire match. I mean, that's the hype around Street Fighter 2 is great. I don't like fighting games very much because it's like learning. Even though I've learned the language of video games, fighting games is another language. I just.
Expression.
I can only absorb so much. So even though I'll probably
You
be
hire
miserable,
mammal. Can you read this?
even though I'll probably be miserable while I play Super Ghouls and Ghosts, there's a chance I won't be, and that's why I'm going to vote for it.
Okay, going on to Christian.
For you, your choice in round 1 of the 1991 Yearlies was the most important choice of your life. But for me, it was Street Fighter 2.
It's day. Mick.
I'm gonna vote for I'm gonna vote for Street Fighter 2 because
You almost went for Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
listen, every console game of this generation blends together because they all start with the same fucking words.
There are 3 supers.
Yeah. So
Alright,
I'm voting for Street Fighter 2 because well,
It's
Yeah.
Street Fighter U.
You win
Yeah.
5 million
Okay.
bison bucks.
thank you.
Clanky.
Well, even though it's not Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior, or Super Street Fighter 2, the New Challengers, or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or Hyper Street Fighter 2, the Anniversary Edition, or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, or Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers, I'm gonna vote for Street Fighter 2.
Oh, okay.
You're
Yeah.
so-
He was
so
being
brave
nice,
for
by
that.
the way. There were like 16 more he could have named.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, the list is still up. Don't worry.
You may save them for later.
Holy shit, everyone.
And Graham for posterity.
Super Street Fighter Goo.
Ew.
Okay. All right. Round 2. We have Super Castlevania IV, which was a highly contested entry. Both Taylor and Christian put it up, and more people, I think, listed it, versus F-Zero, which Clanky put up, and Graham put up a sequel from it 9 years later. Who would like to go first?
I'd enjoy going first.
Okay, I would enjoy that too. Starting now.
Remember how last time we were talking about Castlevania 3 and how like it's fun for the NES, but there's all these like rough edges with it?
How could I forget?
Yeah. Super Castlevania 4 is like, hey, we're gonna fix every one of those problems and make like an amazing video game. So you have all the good parts of Castlevania and then you just polish it. And so now you can control your jump in midair.
I know.
And you can jump onto stairs. And you can whip in all 8 directions. And you can even
And Nene.
you can even hold the whip button down and you can jangle it like you're jingling keys.
I actually found a lot of good uses for the whip wiggle because sometimes projectiles are in strange positions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, the whip wiggle is the whip wiggle.
The whip wiggle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the whip wiggle.
When I was a kid, that was all I wanted to do was whip wiggle. You can even like there's a couple of bosses that you need to whip wiggle. I also think that the challenge of the game is pretty fair. I think that a couple levels go on for too long, but I was able to beat this game in like 3 or 4 hours without having to use a guide, and not a guide, walk through.
Go right. Go right.
No, without using save states is what I was trying to say. And I only got frustrated sometimes. Bosses are kind of easy, but I actually...
No, I only cried for 20 minutes.
I will say there are these parts where Castlevania IV, it needs to remind you that it's a SNES game. So it's like, oh, dude, we're gonna make a room that like rotates and like just really take advantage of the FX chip and like.
Yeah, it
have, like,
also
a room
uses
that
Mode 7 at some
spins.
point, which we're probably going to
that's-
get more into in this entry, actually.
Yeah. But for me, I'm like, those levels aren't the best part of Castlevania IV, actually.
It is
It's fun. Yeah, like, I actually think the level where the room rotates is the worst level of the game.
The chandelier, though. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
So what I find interesting about this game is that this game was intended to basically be a remake of the first Castlevania, which is, in some ways can be seen as a regression from Castlevania 3 and the Castlevania games that would follow, which I believe include Rondo of Blood and similar games. But
yeah.
I find that this game, it really is, if you consider it a remake of the first Castlevania, it is almost the definitive way to play the first Castlevania in everything except for music.
Yeah, and like, we're calling it a remake. It's not it's a reimagining. It's a different video game. The levels are different.
Like, the reason why, like, this, like, Super Castlevania and, like, this, because, like, Nintendo was like, well, we want, like, to sell the Super NES, we're gonna, like, have a bunch of NES games, but it's gonna be the Super version of them. That's what Super Ghoul Goblin, Super Mario, like, obviously Super Mario already had it, but...
yeah, you can make the argument that this maybe this is the first remake.
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure some asteroids got...
I was gonna say my 7 versions of Pong would bet
Pong.
make the difference.
There's another remake on this bracket.
Well, look, if you're gonna play the Pong card, then there's no helping. The last thing I just have to point out is the music to this game is really, really good.
If I may say a controversial opinion, the game... Graham, exactly. The game peaks early, in my opinion, with the music. The first theme is one of the best Castlevania themes ever, and
How
after
would
that...
you know? You only played the first level.
No, I played about a little less than halfway through the game. And then I watched almost all of the rest of it. So I know almost all the songs in the game. But yeah, no, it peaks in the first level, and it doesn't get better than that for me, unfortunately. The first Castlevania does have a better soundtrack.
All right, here's the thing. I agree with you, and when I said out loud that the music is great, and then you said that, my instinct was to fight you, and then I stopped. And I thought about it. I'm like, no, that is the only track that I ever think about when I play that song. No, but you know what happens is at the end of Castlevania IV, they remix old Castlevania songs. So like they'll play Bloody Tears.
Wicked Child, maybe.
What?
Wicked Child. The one they go.
I don't know if they do that one. I know that like the last stage does a handful of remixes.
Christians
So
do their own cover of the music for a video game.
I'm gonna be smooth the groove.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
yeah, my favorite part is when they play Tiger Hunts in India.
Tiger Hunt in India.
Very weird on the SNES sound font, honestly, but they rolled with it.
Yeah. Clanky, did you play Castlevania IV?
No, I haven't.
Oh, shit!
You
You're so
want to
fond
play
of 1 and 3.
Castlevania
Have you played Tiger Hunt in India?
No, it's tricky. And it's harder on bass because the bass is tuned in fourths and not fifths, meaning that the range is a little bit more limited. And on top of that, like, would I play it the octave lower, like is it usually intended in classical bass, or would I try to bring it up to the same octave as the cello? It's just too much, you know?
But he had a really good answer ready.
Yeah. So, fun fact, I occasionally come across like classical music memes or like other like music theory memes that I don't understand, but I send them to Clanky and I'm like, I'm sure this is funny.
And half the time I'm like, yeah, it is.
It's like if I sent Mick linguistics memes.
All right.
We've gotten very off topic. There's another game on this, isn't there?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's debatable.
Fuck Zero.
Oh, damn, dude. All right, shall I talk about F-Zero? Graham, do you want to take it?
You
or do
may.
you want me to?
Go for it.
So, I'm a recent F-Zero fan. I only really started getting into the series when F-Zero 99 came out on the Switch. I played it and I was like, wow, I actually didn't want to rip my eyeballs out while I played this, so the rest of the series must be pretty good. So I started playing it. I started with F-Zero on SNES, then I went to 64, and then I intended to get to the GameCube one at some point, but we'll get there. But anyway, I played I played F-Zero, the original one, and I was honestly shocked that the game was playable.
Yeah.
It works, it's especially impressive considering that here in the US, maybe in Japan too, it was a launch title for the Super Nintendo. And yeah, it's essentially a high speed, high octane racing game. There's only 4 people in the race, which it does kind of suck a little bit, or you can only really choose 4 people. But
to be fair, you cut your teeth on there being 99 fuckers in the race, so
yeah, that's true. So my expectations were very high. That's fair.
These tracks were not made for 99 people.
I'm still caught up on the fact that it's playable and works.
Yeah, I mean, like, you'd expect it not to be, but, like, I thought it was rather intuitive.
I wouldn't expect that.
Considering the fact
to
that it's
work.
on the Super Nintendo. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, listen, we're in the 90s, so
it's a
we can't
launch
really
title for the
expect it all.
SNES. The expectation should be, oh wow, it doesn't blow up when I put it in.
Just wait until we get to the other. Just wait until we get to the other launch title. Then we'll be really living.
I will say that. Oh, sorry, brief diversion. I just will say that F-Zero, in my opinion, definitely is the best use of Mode 7 in the fucking SNES, probably.
Yeah, that and Yoshi's Island.
Mode
That's
7.
a debate for a different day. So yeah, F-Zero, is it outdated? Yeah, absolutely. But like, if you're looking for a challenging racing game that doesn't feel too unfair, F-Zero isn't a bad place to start. I can see that, like, you know, the Mode 7, like, planing for the actual tracks doesn't work too well for certain people, but it worked for me, and it might work for you too. I love the futuristic aesthetic of F-Zero too. I think that it's it kind of gives off like a more clean cyberpunk vibe, which I really like. And yeah, I mean, we'll get to F-Zero X eventually, and I'll have more to say. But this is fun.
I will say also, the music in this game is top tier.
Oh, it kicks ass! It kicks ass. Yeah.
Good.
Again, we're back with the Castlevania IV argument, where the only thing I remember from F-Zero is that one track.
F-Zero, I actually yeah, from F-Zero.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be a little more
Is most
specific.
of this
The term
Yearlies going to
track
just
gets
be you
confusing.
guys doing? Most
Yeah,
of this
you're
Yearlies
right.
is going to be you guys doing music impressions.
Yeah, like this one. Do. No, F-Zero does have a lot of great
Perfect.
songs
songs to it. Big Blue, Mute City, the one that was in the Smash remix that goes. I don't remember what track it was used for.
I like the one that goes. I like the one that goes like do 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 do.
That's Deathwind, right?
I don't think that's Deathwind. I think that's White Lands. Don't read into the name.
Yeah.
Don't read into the name. Don't read
White
into the
Land.
I like the one that goes.
Oh God.
That's a
Anyway,
really
Glenn,
short
do you have
track.
anything to add on?
It was just
Anyway.
that note and then 3 minutes of silence before it loops again.
Clancy Brown going beep beep boop boop.
Oh, you mean beep?
No, beep boop boop up.
Tiger did it,
Okay.
yeah.
Anyway, all right, we're off topic again. Taylor, you were up first.
F-Zero's tracks don't look good.
Oh, boo.
Boo.
Your tracks don't look good.
Just I maybe it plays fine, but like if I'm gonna play a racing game, I want to race on crazy, like wacky tracks, and like F-Zero is like, and I'm gonna complain about this anytime a Super NES racer comes up on these brackets. Just FYI, it's not exclusive to F-Zero. I played GX, I played X, and those are a lot more fun. But F-Zero, yeah, I'm voting for Castlevania IV.
Okay. Christian.
This is surprisingly tricky because even though Super Castlevania IV was my number one pick, F-Zero, as we'll get to later in this decade, is a franchise that I very much enjoy.
But we're not talking about the franchise. We're just talking about the first game.
However, the first game is a great game in the franchise, so it's tough for me.
Is it better than any of the others?
Probably not, but is it better than Super Castlevania IV is the question, and that I
Which
don't
is
know.
arguably one of the best Castlevania games.
And am I a big Castlevania fan? Who knows? I'm gonna skip my vote for now.
Oh, okay, great. Mick.
This is also a bit of a hard one for me. Come back to me.
Okay. Clanky.
It's not hard for me at all. I'm voting for F-Zero.
Graham.
So true.
I assume that's a vote
admitting.
for
That was a Castlevania vote. I recognize the track.
Super
Really?
Castlevania 4.
That was a vote for Super Ghouls and
Oh.
Ghosts, actually.
I can't tell which one of you are being serious. Was that Super Castlevania 4?
Yes.
No,
Super
it was.
Castlevania
He was
4.
doing. He was. I
All right,
I
cool.
wouldn't lie.
Yeah. You can
All
come
right,
back to
amazing.
me.
Yeah, I'm coming back to you now, Christian.
I think at the end of the day, I think I prefer F-Zero slightly, only because since Super Castlevania 4 is a strictly single-player game that's a little challenging, I could probably get more out of F-Zero and its multiplayer, I think. I think I probably would like these both equally, but F-Zero has the name recognition and the multiplayer, which I appreciate.
I'm so happy to learn that even when it's the afternoon, I can still hate Christian just as much.
Christian votes for a game that is opposite of Taylor's vote. Taylor, oh!
That is a personal affront to me. And we're back to Mick.
So what is the score right now? It's
It's
That's
2-2.
I
2-2. I think I'm gonna go to F-Zero.
I love my life.
Oh no.
Life is swell.
Fuck Zero.
I am happy.
But Christian, 4 is a greater number than 0.
You know what? I take my vote back. No.
All right. We go on now. Round 3. 2 games I've never heard of. Bomberman.
You've never heard of Bomberman?
Give
I've
him
never
a
heard of-
break. He's a
Maybe.
normie.
Yeah, I am.
Well, comparatively.
Bomberman is a Christian pick versus Actraiser, which is a Taylor pick. Who would like to go first?
You've never heard of Bomberman?
Maybe, I don't know. It's a generic enough name that maybe I have, but I don't
I'm
know
gonna
what the
I'm
hell
gonna
it
pull up
is.
a picture of Bomberman. You're gonna recognize him.
No, he won't. Taylor, this is a waste of time.
I don't believe you. No.
This
I'm gonna-
Yearlies or
we're
this
gonna-
Mick?
We have
Oh, damn.
we have time to waste.
Jordan, do you recognize this
Do we
man?
know?
Do you know
All right, let
this
me pull
man?
it up.
It's the poster of the guy in the dream.
I don't know. Maybe.
Have you seen
Show-
this man in
show
your
me.
dreams?
Show me where this man blew you up.
Oh,
who wants to
God.
go first?
Maybe I could start
I mean-
actually.
You can. I just went first, so
So this is Bomberman. Also known as Dyna Blaster in Europe, which is the name given to, I believe, 4 games in the Bomberman franchise. Strangely enough, this is a this version that is on the 1991 Yearlies is a TurboGrafx 16 game developed by Hudson Soft, who made the Mario Party games. This did technically start as a PC game in Japan in 1990, but the first North American release was 1991 on the TurboGrafx.
Hats off for the TurboGrafx 16 somehow finding its way into the fucking Yearlies.
It will do it.
Wow.
It will do it.
I was not expecting a TurboGrafx 16 game to get
I
mentioned.
take umbrage that you don't think it would make it to the consoles.
Ouya fans can't relate.
Ouya fans? You mean Ouya fan?
Clanky bought the Ouya at launch.
I was waiting in line at Target on the rainy day.
Midnight release.
Midnight Ouya release.
So, despite being called Bomberman, this is technically the 6th game in the franchise. And it's a reimagining of the 1983 game Bomberman, which was released for, and bear with me here, NECPC 8801, NECPC 6001 Mark II, Fujijutsu FM7, Sharp MZ 700, Sharp MZ 2000, Sharp X1, and MSX, all of which I'll be nominating for the console brackets. So, this is anyone here not familiar with how Bomberman works?
Bombs.
Okay, bombs.
Basically, you're in a top-down grid area, you drop a bomb, it explodes into a plus shape, and you have to bomb other things with your bombs, but you can hurt yourself with your bombs, so be careful. It's one of the most simplest Bomberman games ever. It's basically, you just go through stages, kill enemies with your bombs. I don't even know if there's multiplayer in this game. This is the only game that I put up on the bracket that I haven't played. And one thing that I do note about this game is that this game does have multiplayer, though, with one other person. And when you play this game with multiplayer, it brings a lot of similarities to something like Bubble Bobble, or should I say Bubble Bomble. And I find that to be very, probably very fun looking. Now, I don't have much else to say. To be honest, this is not going to be the last time you see Bomberman on one of these brackets. Far from it, actually.
Okay.
But for this year, I suppose the first of the more well-known Bomberman franchise games could weasel its way on here. And yeah, if you like Bomberman, if you like dropping bombs in plus-shaped formations and picking up upgrades and accidentally trapping yourself between 2 bombs and dying a horrible, horrible death, by all means, knock yourself out.
Yeah. Okay. Taylor.
So in Actraiser, you're God,
Oh, I'm interested.
and you are kind of populating the world. Basically, what happens
Just like
is...
Katamari.
I wouldn't go
really?
that far.
Really?
I-
I looked at Actraiser screenshots and it looked more like Super
I don't
Ghouls
think
and
it's
Ghosts.
In Katamari, you're destroying the world, and Actraiser, you're building it up.
Well, remember, I'm a normie, so
You don't know who Bomberman is.
no, I don't.
Yeah, so anyways, you get advice from your little angel friend, and you're like, all right, we need to go repopulate the Earth. So basically the way it works is you'll go into a level. You'll do a 2D platforming level. And it'll kind of play like an easier Ghouls and Ghosts or Ninja Gaiden or Castlevania type game. It's fun. It's you hold the sword up high, you slash at things, you fight bosses that have a health bar, as opposed to bosses that wouldn't have a health bar. They're good levels. And then after you beat a level, you get to my favorite part, which is a sim management section, where you get a little society, and they grow, and you have to take care of their requests by performing miracles. So you'll grow their crops, or you'll start earthquakes, or make volcanoes erupt. Okay, so those are actually more natural disasters. But
The game
Giant
has
robot Godzilla.
hang on? Are you trying to tell me that this is Super Ghouls and Ghosts with a Chow Garden?
Oh,
I'd say yes.
Shit.
Will it appeal to you more or less?
Will it appeal to me more or less? Are you telling me that a game with a Chow Garden would appeal to me less?
I think you would like this game, Nick. That's my
Look,
answer.
I assumed I looked at it. I'm like, oh, this looks like a rather generic, 2D
Yeah, like-
side-scrolling fighting.
Yeah, the platforming levels are whatever, but then you
Platformer
get, and then you get to like 30 minutes of sim management at a time, and you build a society up, and like so you get all of the rewards out of like a 60-hour campaign of Sid Meier's, but like in the span of 20 to 30 minutes, you've built a society, and then you go and take down another level, and then you do it all again. It goes level sim, level sim.
It's like a Chow. It's a Chow Garden.
It's a Chow Garden.
it's a Chow Garden.
Well, it's a Chow Garden, but people are your Chow.
You could start a Chow Garden.
People are your Chow. Are we back to Hannibal Lecter again?
Yeah. And anyways, this goes on for about 3 hours. There's 6 acts, so 12 levels, 6 sim management sections. It's a really, really fun time. I think that there is something for everybody here.
There's a little something for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we?
Look, I'm good. If you have any other questions, I'll try to answer them, but
Also, if you have questions about Bomberman, I'll also answer those.
are there bombs?
No.
Are there fireballs?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're fireball power-ups,
Right on.
which I think just makes the blast radius of your bomb bigger.
Okay.
I'm surprised more of you aren't questioning the fact that I said no to bombs.
I
Why
figured
would-
it was your humor.
Well, does a businessman bring business with him everywhere?
Yes.
Yes.
I
All right.
probably could have thought of a better example, but I panicked.
Any other last notes on these two before we go to the vote?
I really like Actraiser.
I can tell, and I like that. Okay. Taylor, I assume that means you are voting for Actraiser?
Yeah, I like Bomberman as a franchise, but the original Bomberman is just kind of like, it's just a fun arcade game. There's not really a whole lot to it.
It's Bubble Bobble.
Sure, it's like Bubble Bobble, but
Sure.
Actraiser is more fun for me.
Okay. Christian.
Despite my apprehension to the 2D sections of Actraiser, from what I've seen at least, we're going to be talking about so much better Bomberman games. Like, honestly, it's such an upward climb.
Can I ask, when do you plan on talking about better Bomberman games? It's not that I don't believe you. Like, there are better Bomberman games, but like, what Bomberman games are you passionate about that are going to make it onto the brackets?
So I have a
Bomberman Act Zero.
Technically, I could theoretically put up a Bomberman game for 6 of the upcoming years, probably. But I'm not going to put up one for every single year that there is a Bomberman game.
Are you like a closeted Bomberman fan?
We'll get to it. For now, I am going to vote for Actraiser.
He's a closeted Bomberman.
Okay, Mick.
Actraiser, because it's got a Chow Garden.
Clanky.
Chow Garden.
I mean, the only one here I genuinely give a shit about is Bomberman. I'm sorry.
Right on. And Graham.
Hellraiser.
I see that Clanky doesn't want to be God.
That's a vote for Actraiser, Graham?
Yeah.
Okay. 4-1 Actraiser.
By
Okay.
the way, Graham, Act Zero is like a 2000 and something game.
Has that stopped us? Has that ever stopped us?
There's like
Stop
3
Graham.
not 2010 games on these this entries.
No, Bomberman Act Zero is when they tried to do like a gritty remake of Bomberman.
Which is really funny, but
Jesus
also if you look
Christ.
at the box art for a lot of classic Bomberman games, those box arts are not also that far off.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one for this game is haunting. It's like it's just an astronaut in a red outfit looking horrified at the camera, reaching with his hands.
All right. I think round 4 is a pretty big one. We have Super Mario World, which both Taylor and Clanky put up, and Final Fantasy IV, which is a Graham pick.
I'm gonna need an IV after this one.
Clanky, I know you
yeah.
want to go. I know you want to go first for Mario World. All I ask is that you let me talk about the maps.
Okay.
Well, can I go? Can I go for Final Fantasy because I won't have opportunity to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
So-
Your time starts now.
Final Fantasy IV is like.
Sorry, just 1 second.
Final Fantasy IV is when. Oh, I just realized I've had Taylor be this whole time. I had never muted him. Final Fantasy IV is like when Final Fantasy series really like. This is when like they really start coming into its own. This is one of the first ones with a defined story with characters. This introduced the active time battle, which is still probably one of my favorite. Like for any like turn-based RPG, the active time battle is like one of my favorite. Where you're like working like basically like on a timer, like you have a bar that fills up, it'll tell you like when you can act, but you have to like manage that. Like yeah, and like there's like I said, there's actually a story here. You're
They actually tried here.
The character who like goes on and changes themselves. You start out as Cecil, who is like a dark knight working for an evil king who finally realizes, hey, I'm working for an evil king. Maybe that's fucked up.
He's not lying. That is like how the story starts. Like he questions his king. He just like asks, dude, what are your intentions, by the way? I'm stripping you of your rank.
Just like Zangief at the end of the Street Fighter.
Well, it's a little bit more.
And Bison is evil? What? No!
There's more to it. He does deliver a ring full of bombs to a village.
Just like
and destroy the
Bomberman.
village.
Yeah, but that was just a prank, Graham.
Yeah. No, I specifically I want to give a shout out to like the DS remake, or I don't know if it came on other stuff, but like I kind of like just picked it up like right before I started college, and like I played that playing through it like the first few months of college, so it was also like one of like my first times like I really got into a Final Fantasy game. But yeah, Final Fantasy IV is good.
I do hear the DS remakes do this one strong justice.
The DS remake is good. I hear it's the hardest version of this game. Like it's one of the like toughest Final Fantasy games in existence.
I never beat it because I got stuck. There's a level where you have to like go into a magnetic cave, so you can't have like anything iron equipped.
That's so silly.
Oh yeah, that's the part where you need Edward's help, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, there's an iconic line in the translation of Final Fantasy IV where you have this old sage and he's his daughter is flirting with a bard and he doesn't like the bard, so he goes, "You spoony bard!"
Imagine being called a bard.
Yeah,
Imagine
I know.
being called you.
And he's also a terrible party member. You should never put a bard in your party. This is the game that made me care about This is the game that made me care about summons, because you get a summoner and you get to summon like Shiva and Ifrit and Ramu and Bahamut, and it made me care about them because like everyone has like defined classes in this one, so it's just really exciting to like create a makeup of like the good classes. So a dragoon and a summoner and a black mage and a white mage with an arrow and bow and a ninja. And I just like the party makeup by the end, and also the final boss theme is one of my favorite final boss themes of all time.
Okay.
I will also admit that there are elements of the story that don't hold up as well as I remember, because the story is kind of just a comedy of despair and errors, where like everything that could possibly go wrong always goes wrong.
That does sound funny though, I have to admit.
My life.
Oh, it's very funny. If you ever watch some Call Me Johnny's review, he just adds a laugh track every time something goes wrong.
Tell me about this world, this Super Mario.
There's a Mario
world.
game on this.
I've never heard of this game.
That's fucking crazy, dude. How is that possible?
I know, right?
Okay, so Super Mario World, I'm just gonna lead with this, is one of my favorite games of all time. I love this game. So let me get into it. Super Mario World is the 4th Mario game to come out, or in the standard, Mario platformer romp, and it is the best 2D Mario platformer to exist, and allow me to explain why. First of all, most Mario games have power-ups, right? Sometimes, in my opinion, the power-ups get a little bloated. When in my fucking life am I ever gonna want to use the frog suit out of water, like in Mario 3? Mario World trims the fat. You have a fire flower, which deals projectile damage, you have a cape, which lets you fly, and most people think that that's it, but you also have Yoshi, which is probably the best power-up in any game. Yoshi can jump on spikes, Yoshi can eat any enemy, and depending on if he eats certain enemies or not, will give him extra powers, like being able to send out fireballs. Yeah, you can also have Yoshi tank a jump that you didn't make, so you can jump off of Yoshi and kill him, so you keep going. It's great. But not only that, the level design of this game is, in my opinion, some of the best level design there is in a Mario game. It's hard for me to talk about why I think level design in a platformer is good, other than just saying play it for yourself, because there's really no other way to experience it other than just kind of experiencing it for yourself. So I'm not gonna harp too long on that. But what I will say is that every level is fun, like it's named after different like snacks and different kinds of food. You have the Donut Plains, you have the Vanilla Dome, you have Choco Mountain, and the best snack of all, the Forest of Illusion.
Bark! It's everyone's eating over the hedge.
Speaking of the Forest of Illusion, it's very unique and plays with something that I really love that Mario World does. Now, Mario World, certain levels have alternate exits, and we'll be talking about the ramifications of that in a little bit. Or Taylor will be talking about that in a little bit. But I think it's a lot of fun that when you're playing this game, you can play a level and not even experience the whole level. Now, sometimes I do think that they go overboard with this in, future Mario games, but I think that this game has a really good balance of levels that are very straightforward and levels that are more like late mazes and labyrinths, especially the ghost houses, which is a new level type introduced in this game, I believe, because I don't think there were any ghost houses in Mario 3. So yeah, the ghost houses, some of the most fun Mario levels there are. Rather than it just being a straightforward get to the end of the level, you have to find the exit based on, like going back to certain areas, bringing a key through a certain door. And they never feel like, what's the word? In my opinion, they never feel too obtuse in how to solve them. They're always pretty intuitive, but you can't just obviously go all the way to the right and hope you'll get there, because there's something you're gonna have to do, whether it's finding a key or flying to a certain area or whatever. What else is there to talk about? There's so much to talk about. The story, it's a fucking Mario game. There's not really much to say other than that. And the bosses themselves are based off of the Koopalings again. I'm sure at the time it was cool to see them a second time, but like now in like today's age, it's like whatever. They're the Koopalings and they're all kind of the same. But I will say the enemies in this game, super fun. I love what's his name, fucking Reznor, the four rhinos.
Reznor,
Trent Reznor?
Yeah, literally named after Trent Reznor. Reznor is
Wait, really? He's actually named after Trent Reznor?
No, he is. I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
Oh.
I love Reznor. He's most
Free Hate Machine was out, so
The
there's a
one that
chance.
adds the bonsai bills, which are just giant bullet bills.
I'm such a fan of the Bullet Bill family of Mario enemies, and the Bonsai Bills are some of my favorites.
I think that, again, Mario's moveset is also one of the best and concise movesets. It's not filled with fluff, like him jumping around and doing stupid spins or whatever. He only has the one spin jump, and then run and jump, and that's it. And he can carry stuff and, throw stuff, and, like, that's really it. And in my opinion, it's the best moveset he's ever had, because it's not so overbound with shit, but it's still, like, it still gives you a lot to do, especially in the levels when you have certain bricks that you can destroy by doing spin jumps on them. I love this game. I think it's so well built, and I think that this is like one of the best 2D platformers, if not the best 2D platformer out there. And it's crazy that we got it in 91.
Yeah.
And the last thing that I really like about this game are the maps, which Taylor's going to talk about right now.
I've never cared more about maps in my life. There's just something about fucking every time there's a red dot, and that means there's a secret exit. Not only is finding the secret exit like some of the most fulfilling secret exits you've ever found in a Mario game, because it always feels like so crazy to just come across like this one block that leads to this vine and take you through the keyhole that leads to these secrets. But just seeing how that affects the map and seeing how like, oh, we're gonna go into the lake now, and that's going to skip half this world because of this one secret you found that's going to take you to this whole secret string of levels. And then you're going to get to a point where you're going to find secret exits that lead you to a bonus world called Star Road, and there's a bonus secret world within that secret world.
Tubular!
There's a secret world, and they're just all fucking named after cool names. And if you beat them all the Goombas turn into like little guys with mustaches. I don't get it.
They're little guys!
But like,
That is also really great.
But so like, here's the thing. I've never actually beaten this game authentically. I've only ever beaten this game through finding the secrets. And if you find the secret roads, you can beat, like, this game has over 100 levels, but you can beat it in like 16. And you can get to Bowser's back door. You can get to the back.
Yes,
Excuse me?
Yeah.
You get to the
Bowser's
back
Castle has
door
a
of the
back door in this one.
Yeah, and I've only ever beaten it through the back door. And then the final level plays out like you are going back to the back door instead of the front. It's so cool. And oh, dude.
And I mentioned one thing about the maps if you didn't already. The Forest of Illusion. Did you talk about that?
I didn't talk too heavy on the Forest Illusion because I actually think that's the one time where the secret exits annoy me.
Oh, boo, boo.
Well, just because I was bad at figuring it out. I didn't grow up with the Forest Illusion because I always skipped past it. I always got to the first level of Vanilla Dome and then took Star Road, so I like only ever played all those levels once. And then as a kid, I never beat Larry, the World 7 boss, so I never actually beat the game all the way through. I want to go back and replay it and do that. But I guess the last thing I just want to bring up, and this has nothing to do with the maps, but Clanky, you didn't bring it up. You get to climb chain link fences, and you like pop through the fences to like climb through it on the other side, and I just think that's like really fun to do in this Mario game, and it makes like exploring the castles. I think these are some of the best castle levels.
If I could pipe in for a brief moment, I just want to say that this game looks and sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the music is so good. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to mention. The music of this game, it does something that I personally love. So every single song or every single main level theme of this game is a variation of the main theme of the dun 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 dun. Every single song is a variation of that in some way, and it's so cool. I think that's like, I think it's crazy that they were able to make so many different themes using the same, or so many different songs using the same theme. It's great. I love it. But yeah, really quick, Forest of Illusion. It's great because, in my opinion, you have to find the secret exits in order to get out of the Forest of Illusion. If you just go to the main exit, you just do a giant circle, and you'll keep doing that giant circle until you find the secret exits, and I like that. Okay, I'm done.
Cool. All right. So, Going to going to the vote.
Fuck.
Taylor. Christian.
I feel like so I didn't play Super Mario World. I've never played it before. I could have played it for this, but I was kind of purposely. I don't want to play Super Mario World to prep for a Yearlies. I want to save it for when I just regularly want to play it.
I wouldn't want to burden myself by playing something for this bracket where we celebrate games.
Exactly. I want to save Super Mario World for its own little time, because I actually think I'm really going to like this game, which is why I am going to vote for Super Mario World.
Oh, and by the way, I was doing my gag where I chime in after Jordan gives me the vote, but I do want to just say I love Final Fantasy IV, and this is a really hard matchup.
Okay, Mick.
Man, I wanted to be the guy who voted for Final Fantasy IV for this, but I looked at Final Fantasy IV and I'm like, man, I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Yes.
Super Mario World.
Clanky?
So,
We are going to Super Mario's world.
Super sweep.
Well, that's gonna be many games.
I know. I did that on purpose.
Graham, it is 4-0. What say you?
Final Fantasy IV.
Okay, not a sweep, but close.
Super Mario World is the only super game left.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I think that all these games are super. I already said
That's
that.
the right idea.
I already lied. I already bashed some of these games. Play back the audio where I said F-Zero has boring tracks.
The one with
Absolutely, I'll
super
do
in
it
the
right here.
name,
F-Zero's
Super
tracks
Ghouls
don't
and
look
Ghosts,
good.
doesn't sound very super.
We go on to Cave Noire, which is a Christian pick. Yes?
sorry.
Is it the way I said noir?
No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's totally unrelated. I
Okay.
remember the old joke with the punchline super sucks. I didn't realize there was a choice.
Okay. Versus Battletoads, which is a Clanky pick. Who would like to go first?
I can get Battletoads out of the way if you want.
That's the best.
All right.
What an
Sounds
endorsement.
good.
Isn't that the attitude you have going into Battletoads, though?
That is the attitude I have
It's better
going
than the
into
attitude
Battletoads.
to fucking Lemmings, I guess.
Battletoads is a beat-em-up game where you go from left to right, trying to clear each screen and beating enemies, and sometimes you have to race on like stupid little motorbike things. This game is hard, and in my opinion, in the unfair way, and it's a beat-em-up, which is, I think, one of the most boring video game genres of all time, but it manages to hold my interest down pretty well. And that's all I have to say about Battletoads. So who else would like to take the mantle?
I have an important question. I have a very important question for everyone here.
Yes, you can Battletoads.
Have anyone in this call, made it past the third level of Battletoads legitimately?
Well,
No.
I guess I'll have
no,
this too.
but that's not because the game got too hard. It's because my cousin had this on a retro duo machine, and for some reason, when you put Battletoads in a fake NES, you are not allowed to go past the first level.
All right. None of us.
This is where you go, oh, ooh, Taylor, you said something interesting. So everyone says that Battletoads is the toughest video game in existence, and
Do they?
yeah, like that's
I
the
wouldn't
thing.
say
Like
existence.
up until like
I know people say it's hard.
no. Up until like Souls games were like defining the Dark Souls hard. If you look anywhere on the internet when they're talking about retro games, they're like, Battletoads is the hardest video game. Like Screw Attack had it back in the day, Game Trailers said it back in the day, GameFAQs top 10 lists would say it. Everyone was like, Battletoads is the hardest video game. And this is my thing. Is it the hardest video game because you only have a set amount of lives, and when you run out, you're out of continues and have to start over, which is a product of every fucking retro game of that era? Or is the level design itself actually that hard?
I think it's both. It's like
I kind of agree with Christian. I think it's both.
Is it because you what level 3 you said, is that the turbo tunnel?
yes.
And the turbo tunnel
Yeah.
is just really bad because it's a different genre of game at that point.
It's also really bad because it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
The turbo tunnel, you just phase through platforms and shit. It's bullshit.
Okay. So why did you nom it, Clanky?
Why did I nom it? Because we were in 1991 and there was very slim pickings. Lest we forget, it was my honorable mention before I realized SimCity was not a 1991 game.
I thought that was F-Zero.
F-Zero is a 1991 game. Oh, did I put Battletoads at number 3? I might have.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I thought more highly of it when I was making the list, and then I realized that I really, honestly don't care about this game.
You
Honestly,
don't care
it's-
about rash, pimple, and zits?
Honestly, it's probably good that this game is here because it is a game that a lot of people do end up talking about. I will say Battletoads does have a sick pause theme. Oh my god. And yes, I did watch the Angry Video Game Nerd a lot. Thank you for asking.
He didn't invent the pause music.
But he is the reason a lot of people probably know about Battletoads. That and Screw Tech, probably.
Is the pause music of this game the one that goes like
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
It's the one that goes
But like, all I want to say in Battletoads' defense is that the beat 'em up gameplay looks pretty functional and fun.
It's okay.
Okay. All right.
It's okay.
Well, okay.
You're talking to resident beat 'em up haters, so
I mean, here's the
Are you
here's
sure
the thing.
about that? Do you know what number 6 is? Bracket 6 is?
I mean, here's the thing, Taylor. Something can look very fun, but that doesn't mean it is very fun.
Well, I played
'Cause-
it for like 5 minutes, and
Like
I
if
enjoyed it.
if I leave a slice of bread out, I mean if I leave it out for like a few days, it'll still look tasty, but it'll have gone hard.
This is true. I would also.
Yeah, I look very fun, but I'm extremely fun.
You know what?
And if you leave him out for a while, gets harder.
oh my.
Oh.
Let's talk about Cave Noir.
I will say one more thing about
Game
Battletoads, is
Noir.
I think my experience with Battletoads, Clanky is playing it on your NES, I think, and I don't think we made it past the second level, honestly.
Well, to be fair, isn't this game like 10 times harder if you play it co-op?
That might be true, but you know, I don't think that's a point in the game's favor.
No, but like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like if I sat down and gave it a real try, I might have fun.
Come back to us when
I
you
think
sit down and play the game.
I think it's just the fact that I don't like beat 'em ups a lot. That I think the game is kind of just
Clanky.
boring. I know. Listen, we're gonna talk about it. I know we're gonna talk about it. All right. But for right now, the aura that I have to give is that I hate beat 'em ups.
Okay.
He's in his
I-
beat 'em ups
I
arc.
accept you for your auras.
Alright, so Cave Noir is a Game Boy game released by Konami that never
Is it a
left
murder
Japan.
Is it a murder mystery in a cave?
Not quite. Cave Noir,
It's a roguelike, I believe.
yes, Cave Noir is a roguelike on the Game Boy, making it the first mobile roguelike ever. A lot of people now and back in the day compared this game to one of the first roguelikes called, well, Rogue, which is on Unix systems, which was, by the way, was made entirely in fucking ASCII art, which is fucking crazy. But this game, it's...
By the way, it is funny to note, Rogue is not the first roguelike. It's
Oh, is
really
it
funny.
not? Okay.
It's not. No, the first roguelike is a game called Beneath Apple Manor.
I don't think calling it Apple Manor likes would have caught on as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Apple
But like Rogue is like the first game where people are like, oh, this game is good.
Yeah, it was the first game with the name roguelike, I suppose. But Cave Noir, yes.
No, it wasn't a rogue. Rogue was not a roguelike because it's Rogue. It's not roguelike. It is. Rogue.
It's literally you know what? Fair.
Anyway, the pitch.
So yeah, Cave Noir. You would be very surprised at how a randomly generated dungeon system works on the fucking Game Boy. Basically, this game works in movement-wise. It works very similar. The first thing that comes to my mind is Crypt of the Necrodancer, but without the rhythm. It's like a top-down game where you walk around on tiles, and you have enemies that also walk around on tiles, and every time you move, the enemies move, and you basically have the option when you're next to an enemy to attack or use an item or something like that. Your goal in this game is to go into one of 4 dungeons and complete a goal, whether it's kill a certain amount of enemies, collect a certain amount of gold, save a certain amount of fairies, or do something with orbs. I don't actually know what they do. They play a funny song and then they go away. I don't know what they do. And yeah, it's really cool in this game that you have different objectives in each dungeon because it makes the dungeons feel like you could be like, I feel like getting Ghouls today, and then you go to that dungeon over there. The game it's got this simple sort of fun where you have this little bit like, you have this sort of satisfaction with the management of the game, which is awfully like fun to sort of be like, oh, I've collected 8. Oh, I'm opening up chests and collecting potions and fighting these guys. Oh, let me heal up and get the antidote because the spider gave me poison and the centipedes are going woo 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 woo. And it's like it's got that sort of like roguelike management sort of system. It's fun. You have your usual RPG stats of like attack, damage, all that sorts of stuff that you pick up throughout the dungeon. So your upgrades are relevant in the dungeon that you're currently exploring. In ways, it kind of feels a lot like a TTRPG in that respect. The game also, it is a Konami game, and it has its own sort of set of charm. The animations in the game are quite fun, and I do love that whenever you beat a level, your main character jumps out of the dungeon, strikes a pose, and a really big crush like plays in the background.
What?
It is not in the voice that I did. It's like a really high-pitched woman's voice, but like it's more like.
Why did you do the impression like that then?
Yeah, it's.
I like to eat pigs!
Because he doesn't believe in the stereotype that gender should sound a certain way.
It's so
No,
true.
no, not
So
There
gender
we
should sound a
go.
certain way. The character should sound a certain way.
But it's cute details. The game has a surprisingly great soundtrack where themes will just get stuck in your head for a while. And
Have a great soundtrack, or do you just like the first theme that goes ba 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 ba?
no, but it's got a legitimately, and yeah, no, I was just very surprised that this is a fun Game Boy game that I played for longer than 5 minutes because I wanted to play more of it.
I played it for 6.
Yeah, I know, right? It's got an addictive quality to it that makes you be like, okay, one more dungeon, let's go through in and out adventure. It is a surprisingly fun time, I would say. Oh, also one more thing. Where's my note here? Oh yeah, in the Japanese version, your main character's name literally translates to Konami Taro. So your character's name is Konami, but in the game you can name your character. So I named my character Borat.
My wife.
Very nice.
Did the channel did the channel get deleted soon after?
So true.
No, the channel had a divorce. Topical.
Well, it won't be by the time you edit this video and upload it.
Lord,
Oh, yeah, it'll go out like
divorce,
in
and I can no longer
6
move
months.
its move.
Not my wife.
Mort. All right.
I always forget that it's Sacha Baron Cohen who voices King Julian.
You do?
Even though
Yes.
you're the one who gave us the factoids?
No, yeah, I know, but
Lord.
this is the thing. In my head, for some reason, I always think it's Taika Waititi.
Oh, right. Okay.
I don't know why.
Huh. Interesting.
He just feels like a Taika Waititi character.
You're dead.
Yeah, for me it's his Thor Ragnarok character that would make me think of that similarity.
You're dead, and out of this Mort.
Anyway, the vote. We start now with Christian. Oh, God.
Honestly, I think... you know what? Here's the thing. I'll retroactively change my vote to Battletoads if any of you can beat the 3rd level without save states. But for now, I'm voting for Cave Noir.
Okay. Mick.
I'm voting for Cave Noir.
Clanky.
I'm voting for Cave Noir.
Graham.
I'm choosing to believe that Cave Noir is a long prequel to LA Noir, so I'm voting for it.
Yeah, that's a pretty... Honestly, not even a joke. Cave Noir's got a couple of pretty decent facial expressions. It's true. You try to hit a wall and your character goes, oof, and it makes a face. Yeah, there's like
And
hidden
goes,
entryways
"Ugh!"
and shit in this game. It's really cool.
And Taylor, we're at 4-0. What did say you?
Fuck young boys, Valdez.
Are you a madman? This was an international incident.
It seems to me that you're all pretty much done with Battletoads before it's even started. And I'd like to be the guy who sits here and says, Battletoads is actually great, but I don't know what the fuck Battletoads is beyond, like, the first 3 levels anyways. I think there's, like, a late level where you, like, run from a mouse who's trying to catch you, maybe.
The classic matchup.
Yeah, I
cats
think
and
they do.
frogs.
No, I think they do like a Tom and Jerry type level. I think. I'm not making this up. I'm pretty sure there's like a Tom and Jerry Battletoads level.
Tom
Cats,
and Mr.
frogs,
Toad.
spiders, goblins, immortal enemies.
I looked at Cave Noir. It looks more fun.
You know, I'd be
And
more
I-
happy. I'd be more happy about one of my games getting a 5-0, but it's like getting a 5-0 against an ant.
Or a mouse.
Yeah.
All right.
People like Battletoads, right?
Nobody
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, but it's hard.
Again, so is bread when you leave it out.
A pirate's favorite.
Oh
game?
yeah, fair.
And
Okay.
apparently, so is Graham's penis.
So true, bestie. So true.
I
So
didn't mention his
true.
penis. For all you know, I could have been implying that Graham himself turned into concrete when you leave him alone.
I
Graham
got-
calcifies on will.
I got
Graham
taken,
just-
taken for Grammit.
Oh my god.
Nice,
All right, round 6.
nice.
Round 6. Nice. I am the beholder. I am the beholder, which is a Mick pick. God, you know that gets me, Mick. You know that always gets
I am
me.
the beholder, more like I am the boulder.
Nice.
Oh. Versus my wild card pick, The Simpsons for the arcade.
Simpsons arcade, more like Simpsons R, the pirate version.
Nice.
Grr. Grr. Oh, the sea captain from Simpsons. Yeah. Who would like to go first?
Can
And for
I
that moment,
share?
Disco Stew was born.
Can I share a story?
If you'd like, I'll start the timer. Now, go.
This is the story about how the Simpsons arcade game actually saved a friendship. So, when I was in elementary school, I had this friend. We'll call him Matt. No last names. And we were pals. We would come over. We'd share games. We'd hang out. And then it became the cool thing to bully Taylor, and he latched onto that pretty hard, which sucked for me, but whatever. We stopped being friends, and then a couple of years later, we're in middle school, and my parents take me out to a restaurant in Richfield called the Ancient Mariner.
Oh,
And it's a seafood place, but I only ever ate the fries because I was a child. And
Did you
they
have
had
the
a Simpsons.
albatross?
by that long gray beard and glittering eye, now wherever stops there me.
They had a Simpsons. They had a Simpsons arcade cabinet, which I had played several times previously because the Simpsons arcade game is fantastic. But the Simpsons arcade game is a co-op game, and if other people are there, then other people are going to play alongside you. So this kid, Matt, was there, and he's like, "Oh God, it's Taylor. I have to share an arcade machine with Taylor." And I'm like, "Look, I'm not walking away from this arcade machine. I want to play the Simpsons arcade game. You either get your quarters in gear or get the fuck out." And
Quarters everywhere and not a drop to drink.
and so we started the game, and immediately he died first because he's worse at the game than me. And
That sounded so charged and spiteful. I love it.
Fuck you, Matt.
and like he's reaching for a quarter. I'm like, "Listen, man, when we play the Simpsons arcade game, my quarters are your quarters are my quarters. We're all in this together." I gave him a quarter. He's like, "Oh shit, you gave me a quarter? Gee, thanks. I don't know what to say." Puts the quarter in. We keep playing. My food gets here. I go. He keeps playing. I come back. He hasn't finished the game. I help him finish the game. We make it to the end. We're almost dead. We make it to the final boss, and we're almost out of quarters. We're like, "Oh shit, we're almost out of quarters. Shit, go around the restaurant, find someone who has quarters. Go, 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 go!" Because there's a 10-second count screen.
Yeah.
And I go, and we find a guy. We get our quarter. We get our last quarter. We put it in. We beat the final boss. We're friends again.
Oh.
We
So
become
then-
friends
yeah.
again because we played the Simpsons arcade game together.
That's very sweet.
It's
He went
One
like
of
one that
those-
hath been stunned and is of sense forlorn. A sadder and a wiser man. He rose the morrow morn.
You just have all this Coleridge just on call, Mick?
I've memorized. I memorized Rhyme of the Ancient
You
Mariner.
memorized the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner in case it would come up in a Yearlies bit someday.
Finally paid off.
Sure, we'll go with that. It is an ancient mariner. He stopped with one of three, but a long gray beard and glittering. I know wherefore stops that me.
I like this arcade game. It's one of those standards, another of which I will be getting to very shortly on a Yearlies, where I may not have been very good at it, but it was fun to play. And pretty much every arcade that I would frequent had a cabinet of this.
Yes.
It's a fun one. It's a nice little side-scrolling little beat 'em up with lots of different Simpsons-related locations and characters, and it has some of the spirit of the show while also having the spirit of what arcade games were at that point. And it's great both as an adaptation of the show and a great, like villain beat 'em up type sort of fun romp. Clanky, I know you love this game, so you can bounce off.
Yeah. I do have a similar story to Taylor, but not that like it saved a friendship or anything. It was just
I ruined
me
it.
and my brother. No, me and my brother. One day I took him out to like a video game store or whatever, and they happened to have a bunch of old arcade cabinets, one of them being the Simpsons arcade. So I spent $10 converted from like the dollar bill to coins, and we played through the entire game. Like we basically stayed there the entire time until we beat the game.
Right on.
And it was a lot of fun. I'm shocked because I usually don't like beat 'em ups, but I have to say, maybe it's the theming, and maybe it was solely that made me want to continue playing it. But I love The Simpsons. I wanted to at some point, and I still want to at some point, but I want to play through every single Simpsons game, and this is the first one that ever came out. This is the first Simpsons game.
Yeah.
Simpsons brain.
I find it really interesting what a lot of early Simpsons media does. This came out in 91, and The Simpsons at this point, the TV show, was only 2 years old, and barely, because the first episode aired in December of '89. So they really had to pull from
that is crazy to think about.
Yeah,
there's only 2 years of source material.
Yeah, and the stuff from the Tracy Ullman show as well. But
yeah,
something that they
Homer didn't have the Homer voice yet.
Yeah, Marge. Sorry,
he's still Walter Matthau at that point.
One thing that a lot of early Simpsons media does, which I find really funny, is they put a lot of emphasis on Dr. Marvin Monroe, who's Springfield's psychologist, and he doesn't really get a speaking role after season 3. Because the voice, I think it was
Harry Shearer hated doing the voice.
It was Harry Shears, yeah. Harry Shears hated doing the voice, so they just kind of retroactively killed off the character, which is very funny. And even though he does show up in backgrounds every now and then, he doesn't really get voiced at all, except when they do a bit, oh, you're an old character. But either way,
to be fair, I also Harry Shearer hates doing the voice. I also hate listening to the voice, so it balances out.
Yeah, there's Dr. Marvin
Harry
Monroe.
Shearer also hates most things.
Can I tell you one of the reasons I think this game pops so much, despite the levels being so full of color and popping by themselves? One of the things I love about this game that I can't say about lots of games is I love the sound effects of the Simpsons arcade game. When you insert a quarter, and it goes bum 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 bum. And when you take damage, the sound Bart makes, wow, and when you die. It goes, and that's the theme of this year. We're just making sounds with our mouths. But
I love the game where it goes.
1991, the year of sounds.
Well, there is. Let's see, Christian. There is a spooky haunted level. So
holy shit!
For everyone who's played this game, who is your main? Who do you play as?
Bart. This is the reason I like Bart.
My little brother played as Bart. I played as Marge.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. They also have fun idle animations when Marge is standing still. She goes, "It's my hair."
And a fun fact about this game, originally in the series finale of The Simpsons, they were going to confirm that underneath Marge's hair is long bunny-like ears, and they decided against that, obviously, because flashbacks and everything show that Marge's hair was down and everything, so they gave up on it. But there's a remnant of it in this game when Marge, in one of her idle animations, her vacuum will get stuck in her hair and she'll pull it off, and you'll see the bunny ears, as she's trying to pull the vacuum off of her hair.
Hang on a minute.
What is third eye?
Wait, why does she have rabbit ears? What is this?
It was
bit?
originally supposed to be a reference to his comic Life in Hell.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
Homer brought the radiation home and got the bunny ears.
Weird. Okay. Mick, you have a game in this matchup, don't you?
Yes, I do. Incidentally, quick question. So I've never played the Simpsons arcade. It's a beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Who are the playable characters?
Homer,
Homer,
Marge,
Marge,
and
and
Lisa. You're going after Maggie.
Yeah, Maggie gets
Smithers-
stolen by
Smithers
Mr.
He gets
Burns.
kidnapped by
kidnapped
Mr.
by-
Burns.
I
and
can't
you
play
have
as
to
my
beat everybody
favorite
up in the end.
character.
Yeah.
SMH.
I think depending on who your favorite Simpson is says a lot about you. And
Can't play as Santa's little helper.
My favorite,
play as
my
Abe
favorite
Simpson.
Simpson is Maggie.
she's
okay.
great.
I like Dr. Hibbert personally, but
Not a Simpson, but okay.
I want a
Hey,
baby.
maybe in the future he
Maggie
marries
pounds the
him.
window.
I thought you meant Simpsons characters, not Simpson family.
So I also have a game on this year. So
I.
Yeah,
what?
I
I
of the Beholder.
nice.
Oh, I didn't even think about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Eye of the Beholder is a Dungeons and Dragons video game. It was, so it came out in, again, 1991 for the MS-DOS. And, there's gonna be a running thing with these early yearlies is that almost every game I put up is gonna be an MS-DOS game because there are not a lot of console games I played in this era.
Right.
So Eye of the Beholder is a Dungeons and Dragons video game, where you play as a team of adventurers sent down into the the tunnels beneath the city of Waterdeep, to hunt down and slay the titular beholder Xanathar. The game is it's a first-person game, which is. It's a first-person game and also not turn-based, which is really not what you'd expect from a Dungeons & Dragons
Just call
game.
it what it is. It's a dungeon crawler.
Yeah, it's a dungeon crawl. No, look,
Yeah.
if I say dungeon crawler, I don't think everyone here knows what that means.
No, I do.
What means what that picture is.
You crawl
Okay.
through dungeon.
Yeah. Give me a break, Taylor. I'm doing the pitch. You're not. Die.
What?
Activate the heat rays. Oh god, he's dead.
Oh no.
He's alive.
Hey guys, it's me. I'm Taylor's cousin.
Oh, it's the Baylor.
I just walked in and Taylor's dead. I'd like to
Man,
make funeral
Give him
arrangements, but
CPR.
first I need to know why he's dead.
doing the yearlies with Mick is scary.
My name's Franklin.
Hi, Franklin.
Nice.
Okay, I'll shut up.
So, it's a dungeon crawler, which basically means, like I said, the game's first-person perspective, and you have a party of. You start out with a party of 4, but you can find NPCs in the dungeon, and also you can find skeletons in the dungeon, and then resurrect those skeletons and gain up to 6 party members. So, what's going on? As the way basically combat works is that you position yourself in front of an enemy, and then you have to click on the the weaponry that your men are holding, that your party is holding, and use those to attack. It is a fun game. It's not like the dungeons aren't randomly generated, and there isn't any in-game map. So it's one of these things where you're very much encouraged to make your own map as you go along.
Paper.
It's that kind of game. Yeah. I don't really know what else to really say about it other than it's a lot of fun and it's challenging. It's challenging in a sort of a stop sending gifs. I need to click to a different channel because I keep getting distracted.
Might be different Franklins.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, did you call my name? I'm still
I
here.
suppose, Mick, I have a question in terms of how the game looks. Forgive me if you brought this up already, but is like the hallway here in Taylor's picture here? Does it look like you're actually walking through a hallway like some of those old DOS maze games?
Yeah. So it's so the way the game normally looks, like that's kind of he threw up a weird example where it's like with an enemy has totally taken up the thing. But yeah, no. So the way you move around is you have like these sort of, you have these arrows like on the screen that you can click and whatnot, and you turn down hallways, and so it represents in the whole all the hallways and the monsters in them, in the in this sort of first-person perspective screen, and yeah, you're not looking from it top down. You're looking from it as a first-person perspective in the dungeon. Yeah.
One more question. You said this game is hard. How hard is this game?
You know what? Here's the thing. I don't know if I'd say it's hard. It's got a bit of a learning curve.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and so the other thing is that the game is way more focused on. I would say the game is more focused on. Combat is not the main focus of the game, really. It's mainly focused with navigating the dungeon, avoiding traps, figuring out how to pass through things. Obviously, there is combat in the game, but it's not like you're not really playing it to fight enemies. You're playing it to successfully navigate the dungeon.
So, we go to the vote. We start with Christian.
As much as I love Graham's old podcast, the Simpsons arcade game does look pretty cool, so I think I'm going to have to vote for that one.
It took me a moment.
The game does genuinely look pretty fun, but in this particular instance, I may be Simpsons brained as well, admittedly.
Yeah. There's an SNES version of it made by Capcom.
I'll stick with the MS-DOS version.
All right. Mick.
I'm voting for Eye of the Beholder because I played
Figured. Clanky.
Simpsons.
Yeah. Graham.
Eye of the Beholder has water deep in it, so I'm voting for Eye of the Beholder.
Which means it all comes down to whoever is on Taylor's feed.
All right, Franklin, choose wisely.
Remember, Franklin, I don't know if you know this, but sometimes Taylor's put into the position where it's something else against my wild card, and he writhes about it and votes for the other thing and risks making me
I'm getting that
mad.
impression through these discussions. Like, I'm just trying to process what this whole thing is.
Yeah,
I don't exactly know what you guys are doing. I just walked in and there was this bracket going on.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna cast Power Word Kill on Franklin and then cast a Resurrection, Resurrection prayer on Taylor.
Why would you no? Please, I don't want to. I want to live.
I cast Power Word Kill. Ligma!
Thank you, Graham. All right, and now Resurrection spell on Taylor.
Balls.
Hey guys. Sorry,
right.
I just blacked out for 20 minutes.
Well, now you have a corpse in your room.
You know, when you're right, you're right. Anyone want to explain that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Graham,
it's
on
you
retrospect,
listening.
maybe Power Word Kill was the wrong spell to use.
Eye of the Beholder or Simpsons Arcade.
I mean, I'll go with the one that saved the friendship.
Yay!
For like 5 minutes, I stopped talking to him because I left middle school later. But it's a good story.
It is. It's
I
a
was
great
going to
story.
ask that follow-up question. What happened to Matt?
Yeah.
Oh, they walked all over him.
I said hi to him in the cafeteria a couple of times.
Thank you.
Nice.
Nice.
Thank you. This is the mood we're going for this Yearlies. Just exceptionally goofy. And I am here for it.
No,
I have
fucking
Yes.
goofy.
I am
As
so
an
here for
exception
it.
to all the other Yearlies. Behold the most
No,
powerful
this one-
tool of all.
This
Are
one's
you ready to meet
goofier than all
Tom?
the other ones. I am loving the goofy tone here.
Well,
For
I
instance,
hope you don't enjoy it too much, because I think we're about to lose it in this next round.
well, here's the thing.
Really?
Because we have Sonic the Hedgehog, the original, which Mick put up, versus an entry that Graham listed as, and I quote, fucking Lemmings, I guess.
Here's what happened, right? Graham
Yeah.
doesn't look at the U.S. release dates when he puts up games. I know he doesn't because this keeps happening. So he keeps putting up the wrong games, and I'm like, Graham, that doesn't work. Change your entry. He doesn't change his entry, so I have to keep hunting him down to do it. Then he changes the entry into another 1992 game, and I have to.
Then he sends you a yacht.
Then he gets mad and sends me a yacht, and then just eventually he gets so tired he goes, "Fucking Lemmings, I guess."
And then he killed your cousin.
Yeah.
Wait.
Well, to be fair,
that
Mick,
guy-
you
guys,
started it.
Guys, I don't know what that guy
That's true.
told you. I don't have a cousin.
Who's that guy?
Who was that guy?
Franklin
He's
just walks into people's
That's what I'm
houses
trying
and
to figure out. I'm trying to ID the body
it's-
right now. I mean, he's really weird. He's got really heavy chest hair. He's wearing all gold. I think he's part of the mafia.
Oh my God.
He's
So
wearing
the mafia is going to be after us now for that.
I want to ask Mick and Taylor, is it okay if I start with a story? Especially Mick, since it would be a story about Sonic the Hedgehog, and it won't be very long.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm just worrying now that maybe it wasn't the spell that killed him. Maybe he died of freon poisoning.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Maybe a heart attack from too much gabagool.
Gabagool.
Sorry, if any Italians
Wait.
listening, I apologize.
Are we
It's
sure we
okay,
don't
I
want to hear
forgive you.
Graham pitch Lemmings?
I mean, yeah, I guess if Graham
What
wants
do
to
you
go
think's
first,
gonna
I have a story about Sonic the Hedgehog that I would love to start with, but that's when Sonic
you don't
comes
want to hear
up.
Graham talk all about Lemmings, this game he
Lemmings?
loves?
Lemmings is a
No,
game.
the name of the
about
game
lemmings.
is fucking Lemmings, I guess.
Don't fuck Lemmings, dude.
Lemmings is a
No,
game about
don't
lemmings,
do
I
it, it's
guess.
bad for you.
That's all I have to say. I
Go.
don't know nothing about the game. You want to talk about Sonic?
Okay, so about
Well,
Lemmings. Actually, I
when
will
you
bring up
know-
one thing about Lemmings.
All I gotta say, Mick, is that I tried to take the other end of the bet, and you were a good friend, and you wouldn't let me take that action. You knew how this was gonna go, and when you're right, you're right.
Wait, what?
Mick and I took a. I
Oh
tried
yeah,
to
that's right. I
convince
forgot
Mick
about the bet.
with me yesterday that I think Graham is gonna have a Lemmings pitch, and Mick is like, Taylor, there's no action there. Okay, there's no bet. It's
There's
not
no
gonna
bet.
happen.
Graham doesn't have a Lemmings pitch. He doesn't have
Is
a
that
Lemmings
the
pitch.
game?
Yeah, that's Lemmings.
Can I say something
Oh,
about
okay.
Lemmings, actually? So, do you guys know or remember Wild Tangent Games?
No.
Those
No.
are the games
That was the original title of the Yearlies, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Those are the games that came pre-made on, like, your computer. I don't think Purple Place is one of them, but, like, the fucking Polar Bear bowling game, and some other examples of games of those sorts.
You're saying a lot of
Pinball?
words right now.
Basically,
Do not disrespect Purple Place.
I've never played Lemmings, but I've played the Wild Tangent game Penguins, and that is
Oh.
Okay,
Lemmings.
Kristen, do you remember when you played Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah.
You remember when you played as Clank?
Yes.
That's Lemmings.
Well, don't worry, I played
Okay.
Penguins, so I know what Lemmings is.
Lemmings is just another excuse for me to bring up Ratchet and Clank.
Is that?
Oh.
Was that all?
Ratchet and Clank, the original Lemmings.
So I'm gonna launch into my pitch for Sonic the Hedgehog.
Christian had a story, he said.
So sorry. I will hop into my story. It'll be very quick, and I won't even talk about the game.
You wasted you had a Lemming story, all right? You had a Lemming story. You wasted your chance.
You know what? He's got a point. Go ahead, man.
I want to hear. I'll hear his Sonic story. I'll hear him out.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter when I say it, but I'll say it now. So back in the day, my mom got me this plug and play, a Genesis plug and play, which when plugged into the TV gives you 6 Genesis games that you can play as
All
much as you
starring
want.
Phil Collins.
Fucking imagine. Now, you guys
that's
may have
not one.
recalled back in the previous Yearlies, I said that I would have things to say about Golden Axe. That is because Golden Axe was one of the games on this Genesis plug and play, and I hated it. But the thing about this Genesis plug and play is that not only was Sonic the Hedgehog on this, but as we go through these early years, I will be able to bring up more and more of the games that were on this plug and play. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog was on it. It was easily my favorite game on there, and Mick, you can explain why.
Alright. Sonic the Hedgehog. One of the greatest and most attractive characters ever thought up. He can run at supersonic speed, take out enemies in a flash, and best of all, he's blue-colored and knows how to handle the females.
What?
Is this a copy pasta?
Speaking of which, the Sonic the Hedgehog universe can be classified as
But
hot
it's
chick
hot
heaven.
chick heaven.
Oh god.
All right. You want me to tag in?
No, I got it. Okay, sorry. I've been planning that for like weeks at this point.
Please don't tell me
Now
that's
that
the
it's
only
over,
thing
you
you
don't
had
know
to
what
say
to do.
about
No,
it.
no, it's not. Alright, for those of you unaware, Sonic is a 2D platformer in which you play as a hedgehog, a blue hedgehog that can run at supersonic speed. The game sets itself apart from most other platforms at the time by focusing on allowing you to just go as fast as humanly fucking possible.
Oh, is that what Sonic is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing I'll say is the first level of Sonic the Hedgehog is great.
Yeah, you're totally right. The level
And
geometry.
then they
is
chicken
that-
out and were like, nah, I don't think this gimmick is gonna work.
And then the game sucks.
I am going
I
to
wouldn't-
come to the...
Hang on. Christian, I'll let you go. But I'll just say, I don't think the game sucks after Green Hill Zone. But I do think they got cold feet about their going fast gimmick.
Let's change Sonic the Hedgehog into Pitfall.
Sonic 1.
Really?
If you want to have fast, you have Green Hill, Spring Yard, and Starlight Zone. Marble Zone is not that bad. You're all just bad at the game. You all suck. You're all terrible at this game. That is the key
so
factor.
bad. Christian, you go on and on about how you don't like the challenge in video games anymore, that you're too frustrated and you're
Exactly.
gonna just use save states whenever you get the chance.
Marble
And you
Zone's
have the
easy.
gall to
It's so
sit down and
easy.
defend Marble Garden this level with booby traps, lava,
Marble
pushing
Garden's
and
in the
pulling
next
pillars.
game.
It's a bad level.
It's so easy.
It's so fucking slow. It's so bad.
Here's the thing. Okay, I'll go into it.
So yeah, again, so I'm actually on Christian's side in the argument in that this is not a bad level. It does shoot its own gimmick in the foot. That's my thing.
If it wasn't a level in a Sonic game, maybe there'd be some merit to it.
I think, in seriousness, I suppose, I do believe that, like, Marble Zone obviously does go against what Sonic is in the 3 zones that do allow it to go fast. Marble Zone in itself does capitalize on Sonic being a platformer. Even though it's not the Sonic speed, at the very least, Sonic platforming is satisfying because Sonic
That's the thing,
controls
it's not.
pretty well.
I don't like platforming in Sonic games. I like running in Sonic games.
I'm honestly with Taylor on this.
Well, here's the thing.
Like, and the other thing is, like, we talk about, like, talk about all these things, like, oh, dude, we have speed and, like, these zones. But the thing is, that's like the last 2 levels of the game. So you get Green Hill, and then for, like, half the game, you get, like, a bunch of just bad levels.
Spring Yard Zone. What are you talking about?
Here's the so like
Labyrinth Zone.
Starlight Zone.
So like here's my thing with Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog, the first Sonic the Hedgehog game, I would describe it as half-baked.
Oh.
I mean, I agree with the half part.
I hate Jim Brewer.
Is Eddie Murphy in it?
No,
that's not an Eddie Murphy movie.
I know the
I'm
phrase.
stupid.
You guys know the phrase half-baked, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a good Ben and Jerry's flavor too.
Yeah. I know we'll talk about Sonic 2. I would describe Sonic 2 as 3/4 baked.
And soon we'll have the full cake, but
What
we'll
is it
get
with
there.
Mick, who's continuously putting up the bad Sonic games?
Listen, I didn't have... It was either this, or I talked about Civilization, or Martian Memorandum, alright? And I didn't want to. I wanted to talk about Sonic.
I'll say this, fighting Eggman always feels nice.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, I'm done trying with you, alright? I give up. I'm at it up here.
I do like the boss fights in this game. I do find them to be very simple, but very enjoyable.
One quirk of Sonic the Hedgehog that I don't like is that for whatever reason, whenever there's a platform moving up and you have the opportunity to get crushed, even if the only thing that has the potential to get crushed is the pixel on Sonic's toe, you still die. It's so bad.
That's not exclusive to Sonic 1, Zen.
I know, it's in Sonic Mania
it's
too.
1991, and Sonic the Hedgehog is the only Sonic game in existence.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Lemmings some more. So,
really?
I'm not done with
Is there
Sonic,
anything else to
but
say
if
about
Mick has
Lemmings?
anything else to say about it, I want him to say
I mean,
it.
that's the thing. Here's the problem. When you're talking about a game as massive as the first game in a multi-billion-dollar franchise, it becomes much harder to talk about it.
there are better Sonic games on this console.
This is true.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yes, Sonic.
What console?
I will fully admit
The
that
Genesis.
Sonic
Magnavox
1,
Odyssey.
Sonic 1 is one of the weaker Sonic games. This is absolutely true, beyond a shadow of a doubt. But Sonic 1 has a lot
Beyond a
of...
shadow of the hedgehog of a doubt.
I will kill you. Sonic 1 has,
Go
in
ahead.
my opinion at least, Sonic 1 has a lot of individual merits, and I think it gets a bad rap because they're... To be honest, I think it gets a bad rap because Green Hill Zone is so good. Honestly, I think that's the reason it gets that bad rap.
I don't even think it gets all that bad of a rap, to be honest. I think people are always like, it's the one that started it all, so obviously it's the best. But, like...
Well, they're wrong.
No.
It's not the
I don't
best.
think anyone says that. I think
No,
everyone says
not
that
about
Sonic
Sonic.
2 is the best, and I think they're crazy for that.
Same kind
The one
of,
that I
but-
usually hear is the best is Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, they are better.
But I love this one too.
all right. Yeah. Anything else to say about either of these games, or can we go to the? I mean,
Didn't talk
Lemmings.
about Lemmings at all.
Lemmings...
Is there
None of
anything
us
to
have played
say?
Lemmings.
Look,
Is
here's the
there
deal.
anything to
Lemmings
say
is a
about
game
Lemmings?
where you issue screen directions, okay?
Yeah. You tell people where to go.
Glad Sonic went up against Lemmings and had all the time it needed.
Yep.
We basically spent a full 8 minutes arguing about whether the Sonic the Hedgehog is good or not.
Listen, I have a corpse rotting here, all right? I only have so much arguments to
It's
give.
been 5 minutes. There's no way
I
it's
know.
rotting.
Isn't that strange? I guess it has something to do with the spell you cast.
That's true.
Oh, interesting. All right. Christian, it is your vote.
Sonic the Hedgehog is my favorite thing on this bracket. It's,
Really?
Maybe it's a nostalgia thing because it is far from my favorite Sonic game, but this is one of the reasons I'm a Sonic fan alongside the first Sonic Adventure game. And it's the only 2D Sonic game that I've been able to play from start to finish as well. It has its faults. I think Labyrinth Zone and Scrap Brain Zone are the only zones I don't like. And even then, I still find a lot to enjoy about them. I really like the first Sonic, and it holds a special place in my heart, even if a lot of people don't like it.
Okay. Mick.
Again, I like Sonic the Hedgehog. I acknowledge that it has flaws, and I think that there's it. I wish it had more I wish the team had more confidence in their game in the game's like signature, feature. It also has it also has just like the way the physics work in Sonic is kind of unlike most other platformers at the time. So that's another thing it has going for it. Another thing that I don't think Sonic the Hedgehog 1 capitalizes on nearly as well as the future games do.
And there's one thing to hop off your statement about how they kind of didn't fully commit. I wonder if part of that is because of a common development thing that Sonic devs have brought up in the fact that making Sonic levels is really hard since because you go so fast, the levels have to be like 3 times as long as Mario levels.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
They're not long.
Comparatively, they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, so I'm voting for Sonic the Hedgehog because,
Right.
well...
It's not Lemmings.
It's not Lemmings. Which Lemmings isn't a bad game, from what I've heard.
But it's Lemmings.
Yeah.
I
And
guess.
none of us have played Lemmings. The closest we got is
Excuse
Christian
me.
has played Penguins.
Excuse me, I played Ratchet and Clank. I think I played Lemmings.
Oh yeah.
Isn't fucking Mario versus Donkey Kong March of the Minis also Lemmings
I guess
like?
we all played Lemmings just in
We all-
different forms.
yeah.
Technically,
I think every
Lemmings.
game is indicative of Lemmings in some way.
Yes. Exactly. Every game just has a little bit of Lemmings just wandering about. Clanky is your vote.
You get to the 99% phase of any game. Oh, you got to sprinkle in a lemon Lemmings.
Lemmings, yeah.
Every
Yeah.
game is Lemmings.
Clanky.
Eagle.
I think that the only Sonic game I've ever played and enjoyed was Sonic Mania, so I'm voting for Lemmings.
Holy shit, he voted for
You
Lemmings.
voted
That's
for
how much he
Lemmings.
doesn't like this game.
Graham.
I just sorry, I'll go Graham. I'll rant about Sonic
Sorry.
later.
Lemmings.
It's so Jover, dude.
Taylor.
Taylor, please, you can do the best thing in the world right now.
I was so prepared to be the only one who was going to vote for Lemmings.
Let's go! Let's
I
go!
was so prepared for this to be a Sonic sweep, and I was going to be like, look, Graham's passion really won me over. But you're telling me I have the option to kill Sonic the Hedgehog and bring Lemmings up? Of course I'm going to do it.
Yes.
As happy as I am that Lemmings won. Had to be Sonic, did it?
It really did.
Christian, if it makes you feel any better, any other game I would have for the other game, but I have a reputation to uphold.
That
What
just makes
Oh
me
my
reputation is
God.
that?
The fucking Lemmings I
can't
guess
believe that
reputation.
I mean, look.
I've
no,
never
look,
voted for a Sonic game.
I mean, let's be fair. You know, look. If there was anything that Sonic was going to lose to, the fact that it was a Rockstar game, you know, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because yes, Lemmings is a Rockstar game.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my
dude,
God.
imagine.
Have you fucking heard Lemmings soundtrack where it goes ba da 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 da?
My favorite part of Lemmings is when you pick up the hooker in the car and then
Again, I would like to clarify.
You go into the car and talk.
I want to make absolutely clear. I'm not joking.
Oh no,
It
I
is a
believe
Rockstar
you.
game.
I believe you.
About what specifically?
It's a Rockstar game.
Well, that's what GTA 6 is going to be. It's GTL, Grand Theft Lemmings.
Famous game devs have made some weird ass games in the past.
Yeah, like have you
Yeah.
seen From Software's? From Software has a funny back catalog.
The PlayStation can produce mind-boggling effects.
Thanks.
The eighth one here is two games I've never heard of again. Another World, which I know is a
Jordan, I'm
television
gonna make this
series,
really
but-
easy for you. Another World is Mike
Yeah.
Karuba.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay,
Good.
I thought it was the television series where it's anyway. Another World is a Mick pick. Pilotwings is a Christian pick. Who would like to go first?
Which one of these is more like Lemmings?
Probably
I
Another
think-
World.
No,
I think.
Another World. Actually, straight
Another
up,
World.
Another World is more like Lemmings.
I
Okay,
know. I actually knew the answer.
Yeah.
who's going first?
So.
Yeah,
okay.
Mick, it's your favorite game. Take it.
All right,
Yeah.
go.
So, yeah. So Another World is how would I put it? I'd say it's an action adventure game, but that's a really odd term to use
Yeah.
for a game like this. It's being way heavier on the adventure side of action adventure.
Back in this era, they were trying to do something of like a cinematic platformer type
Yeah.
genre, like with Oddworld and this, and like Phantom in the Dark.
Isn't
And
Phalanx one of those as well?
you could make the argument that Pitfall and Prince of Persia were like that too. It's like all of these games where your jump has weight, so you jump and it's like I'm carrying 10 pounds with this jump.
Yeah.
And
But the
Oddworld.
thing is, Another World, I don't really consider it like it doesn't have that many like the challenges aren't really platforming challenges. It's way more like adventure. It's way more like an adventure game. In fact, that there's puzzles that you have to solve. Like it's way more puzzle focused, but it's not point and click.
So you're saying every 2D game that has a jump button is not necessarily a 2D platformer?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, go on.
Because there's not a lot of platforming challenges. Anyway, yeah. So this game is actually this game was made by a solo dev team, by a man named Eric Chahi. We have talked about another Eric Chahi game on the Yearlies. He is also the mind behind the 2011 video game From Dust.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
Yeah,
That's the
So-
gotcha.
yeah.
That's
so
how I know we've been doing this for too long. I don't even remember that game.
2010's honorable mentions, I believe.
Yeah, we made the joke from dusk until dawn.
Anyway, yeah. So regardless, yeah. So Another World. The premise of Another World is that you play as a physicist by the name of Lester Chaikin, who is
Right.
yeah, he's working at a particle accelerator, and then he gets struck by lightning, and he is teleported to an alien planet.
To Another World.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is eventually he's captured by the aliens, and he's eventually captured by the aliens who live here, and he has to escape and try to find a way back, and he is helped by a fellow prisoner, who is officially his name is Buddy, but his most common name that people call him is Mike Aruba,
Mike Aruba.
because the first line he says sounds like that, as Jordan just gave an impression of.
My cool.
Yeah.
Ay caramba.
Yeah. So the game is, like I said, the game is a sort of a very. It's got occasional platforming challenges, but primarily it's about solving puzzles. It's also got combat. You have a laser pistol in the game, and that also you can also create like force fields the combat exists. I'll say that. You'll die in one hit, and then you'll load back into the previous thing. One of the things I think that's most interesting about the game is the fact that it's basically entirely silent. The only dialogue is in an alien language that you can't understand. And there's no subtitles for.
Oh, nice.
But it does tell, like, it tells its story. It tells its story through, like, cutscenes, which is
1991.
Yeah, and it tells a story, and you can follow it along, and it makes sense. It's very cinematic in that way.
To be fair, you could do that with Mad Dog McCree.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Now, interesting, I do want to mention, because Jordan, you brought it up before, the game is referred to in the, like, its US release, it was called Out of This World because of the sitcom Another World. Sorry, not the sitcom. Because of the soap opera Another World.
Oh, it's a sitcom, right?
No, Another World was was a soap opera, not a sitcom. However, by coincidence, at the exact same time that they were like, all right, we'll release it Out of This World, there was also a sitcom called Out of This World as well.
Yes, I remember that as well.
So it's they're like, oh, we want to avoid confusion, and then they also just named it after another thing. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe it without just going into, like, describing the kind of puzzles the game has, and sort of the game looks very beautiful. It's got, like, these, you know, wide open landscapes that are, you know, even though they're in pixel art, you know, they're very well done. It's got a very consistent art style and color scheme. It uses rotoscoping for the character animations, so they look rotoscoped. You know what I mean by that.
I wonder if it looks a little bit like that horror game that was released, I think 2 or 3 years ago, Faith, I believe it's called, because that uses rotoscope too, I believe, for a lot of its scenes.
What's it called? Faith.
Faith.
Oh, Faith. No, not really. So it's interesting. So it's actually using vector graphics, but then vector graphics filtered through, the fact that it's all pixels. So yeah, it looks, it's got a very fascinating look to it. Incidentally, the remake just uses straight up vector graphics, but you can actually toggle it back and forth, a la the Halo Master Chief Collection.
Oh god.
Yeah. But yeah, it's also got, like, no user interface either. There's no UI. It's just it's just the art and whatnot. It's a very, at the time of its release, there is basically no other game that looks or sounded like it.
Pilotwings is a launch title for the SNES, which...
Well, there we go.
wait, don't go! It's a launch...
Why
Do we
why
have
is
all
that
three?
automatically a bad thing?
Because it's a launch title for this.
Excuse me,
But,
Nintendo
like, we're
World
talking
is a
about
slapper. Okay.
I was gonna say, like, we have all 3 launch titles for the SNES on this bracket, so I think that speaks very highly of the SNES.
Well, look, we have all 16 games of 1991 on this bracket.
Yeah, there were no other games. Even Lemmings is here.
Hence the 2010 games.
Yeah, but Pilotwings is a launch title for the SNES, and similarly to F-Zero, I think this is one of the SNES games that takes, like, incredible advantage of the Mode 7 graphics. You are basically flying over these simulated 3D environments. I say simulated because it's not actually 3D, it's just a fucking illusion, but, like, whatever. Pilotwings is a flight simulator, but you control a jetpack in one of the fucking minigames.
Look, if you say that, you got Graham's vote, so...
But it's basically a game where you control a number of aviation vehicles, being planes, skydiving, jetpack, hang glider, and a helicopter, which I did not make it to.
And what's the missile count?
Probably 0, but I have to look into it some more. Pilotwings itself is a really surprisingly fun game because for everything that you control, there's a pretty steep learning curve, which sounds bad, but, like, controlling the plane becomes super duper rewarding when you actually get used to the really, really strict controls and manage to land that motherfucker after, like, 20 attempts. it's so fucking invigorating when you actually land the plane for the first time, and then you're able to do it most of the time, and it's like you basically become like an expert. The flying on all of these games is really much like clench every muscle in your body as you meticulously press the fucking arrow keys and arrow buttons on the SNES controller. Sorry, I never pirate anything. As you the arrows on the SNES controller to just get the perfect angle on what are essentially these score attack-based games. And, well, I mean, in terms of how the minigames are individually, obviously the plane is the best one because, like, it's definitely the most satisfying, and you can go zoom if you want, but you can also go slow, and landing it is a blast. Skydiving is fun because skydiving is fun once you realize you should not move for the first 30 seconds, and then it's all about just landing in a target. It's really, really cool. The jetpack is fun because it's the easiest one and it's so fun to go like super duper fast on it. And then hang gliding sucks and I didn't get to try the helicopter. But, yeah, no, this game, as a score attack game, it is really fun to try and refine your skills to go through all of the challenges in the rings and land on the target as best as possible. And I think in terms of a game that is probably some of the most simple fun on this bracket, I would say Pilotwings definitely has that down. Also, the soundtrack, as I've said for a lot of games on here, is really, really good. I will not even joke about it because the plane theme, the one that was remixed in Smash Brothers, is so good. It's the one that goes ba ba da ba ba like that, yeah. It's so good. I actually think this was one of the surprises for me because I didn't expect the fucking SNES launch title 3D game to be really, really good, but it is a blast to play.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome. We start the voting with Christian.
Another World's probably better, but I'm gonna vote for Pilotwings because it seems more like my thing, I think.
Okay.
Also, I played it.
Mick.
Another World.
Clanky.
I'm actually going for Another World.
Graham.
In another world, I would have loved doing taxes with you.
Yeah, he said it!
Wow. And Taylor.
Oh, well, I played Pilotwings on the 3DS, and I really enjoyed that one. So I actually would like to play the SNES version. I actually have it. I don't remember how I got it, but it's on my Wii U for some reason, and I want to play it. So, thought Graham would vote for it, honestly, but I'll vote for it.
Me too.
Well, it's not the most accurate flight simulator. Let's be real, right?
No, there's
I
not
was-
100
Neither
players.
is Ace Combat. You can't
To be
actually
fair.
dogfight in a jet.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm not playing Ace Com because it's a flight simulator. I'm playing Ace Com because it's a pilot simulator.
Yeah. Look, I
Yeah,
can land
because of the
the
missile count.
plane in Pilotwings, which means it's not an accurate flight simulator.
Christian can land the plane, which means it's not accurate.
Exactly.
Losers round 1. Super Ghouls and Ghosts versus Super Castlevania IV.
Halloween
What
versus
needs
Halloween.
to be said? Yeah.
Well, I'll
Voting
tell you what
order
needs
shift-
to be said. One of these games is
Oh.
better than the other.
Absolutely. That's what I mean. One of them is... yeah. The voting order shifted. We start with Mick.
Super Castlevania 4.
Clanky.
This is actually kind of tough.
Dog,
I'm
you do
gonna-
not like Castlevania.
I thought weren't you like the biggest Castlevania fan in the world last time?
But I'm also a giant Gargoyles Quest fan.
Oh yeah, no, he's got stake in this. He's got stake.
This is the
The
spin-off.
spin-off series, yeah, the spin-off series could
Also,
be interesting.
I think this fucker made Arthur in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
It's, fuck, I can't believe you called me out like that. All right. I'm gonna vote for Castlevania, but it's a little sad. It's a sad vote.
Okay. Graham.
What is a ghoul but a pile of ghosts and secrets? I'm voting for Castlevania.
Oh, when we get to that
I
game.
thought, wait a minute. Are you doing Coleridge as well?
What?
No,
that a
that is a
lesser
quote
known-
from Dracula in
Symphony of the
but-
Night, is it? Or
Sorry.
Rondo Blood?
Yeah.
I got my lit mixed up. I apologize. Taylor.
Skiv.
Skiv? Oh, Skiv. I thought it was okay, got it. I mistook your C for a G. And Christian.
As much as I love Killer Coral from Mario Remix Boss Edition, I'm gonna have to give it to Super Castlevania IV.
That's the lounge version.
Super is now.
All right. Bomberman versus Final Fantasy IV. Mick?
Bomberman.
I like how you pronounce that. Clanky?
Bomberman.
Oh God, no.
Ram.
Fantasy 4.
Okay, Mick. Mickey. Sorry, not Mick. I have to specify.
There passed a weary time, each throat was parched and glazed each eye.
Any literature fans out there in the audience are probably digging the hell out of this.
Oh, they're
Taylor.
not watching this.
Well, you never know. Taylor.
Viv.
And Christian. It's all tied up.
Well, I'm gonna say this through gritted teeth. Final
Don't do it.
Fantasy IV.
That's a funny way of pronouncing Bomberman.
Bomberman,
Yes.
you'll have your chance in
Why
a
are you
couple
gritting teeth?
years.
Didn't you say that you'd like to find a starting point for Final Fantasy? This is the best Final Fantasy IV starting point.
Look, if Graham didn't,
Wait.
if y'all didn't say that Final Fantasy IV was like a pretty hard game, then I would have had an easier time voting
No, no,
for
no,
it.
no, no, no,
but-
no, 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 no. It's only hard on DS. And that's not
Hmm.
the only version to play. I played the definitive version on PSP, which is just high-res version of the 8-bit,
I
16-bit
also
graphics.
have it. I also have it on my phone.
It is on phone, I guess.
Yeah,
But,
no, like the DS version is like a very rare case.
There are Final Fantasy games that I would probably vote more easily over Bomberman, but there are definitely Bomberman games that I will definitely have in a higher regard. So,
Yes.
sorry, with much
Spoony
respect to
Bard.
Bubble Bobble, I'm voting for Final Fantasy IV.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Battletoads
Where my toads
versus
at?
Eye of the Beholder. Well, are they friends with Mick and or Frog and or Taylor? Wow.
It's still me, right?
Yeah, it's you.
All right, Eye of the Beholder.
Clanky.
Um,
Clanky.
Did you say a single good thing about Battletoads when you pitched it?
No, he
no.
didn't.
So I guess that means I have to choose Eye of the Beholder.
Not
if
necessarily.
you
You
want
remember
to.
my Dark Souls 2 pitch?
True, that's true. I'm still gonna go with
Dark
Eye of
Souls.
the. I'm still gonna go with Eye of the Beholder.
Dark Souls 2 is funny bad. Battletoads is bad bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, do
All
you
right.
have Battletoads?
Do you have any Grey Poupon and or Battletoads? Graham.
You could call me the guy of the beholder.
I will.
I will
Taylor.
start doing that, yes.
I actually secretly have learned that I like dungeon crawlers because I played Grimrock, and Grimrock is great.
Mm.
So I'll probably play Eye of the Beholder over this game that I guess nobody likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say if you like Legend of Grimrock, you will absolutely like it's. Grimrock
I
is
will-
explicitly based on Eye of the Beholder.
Yeah.
I will
Plus it
tolerate
goes-
Eye of the Beholder.
Yeah. And Christian.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have now have the second game in the Yearlies to receive 0 votes. Battletoads,
Oh
sit
my
on down next to
God.
WarioWare Smooth Moves.
Oh
I'm
my
voting for Eye of the
God.
Beholder.
Holy shit! Both clanky entries. That's so
I'm
funny.
sorry.
Woof.
But with this one, I feel like you put it up with a gun to your
You're not allowed to be upset about this.
It was
part.
either look. It
I'm
was
not
either
upset about it,
Battletoads,
Don't get me wrong.
Clanky. It was either Battletoads or Bart versus the Soup.
He's right,
Bart
Frankie. When
versus
he's
the
right, he's right.
If anybody gave a single vote to Bart versus the Space Mutants, I might have lost it. So I'm glad that it's not.
If it
on
was
the
up against
bracket.
Super Mario World or Final Fantasy IV, I might have.
I
Wow.
can't believe you have awful taste.
Super Mario World?
Listen, I'm a contrarian bitch. You know this.
You know what? Fair
Oh
play.
yes, clearly.
Yes, you are a contrarian bitch. You're right.
Sonic the Hedgehog versus Pilotwings.
Well,
You know,
Sorry,
Mick,
Once
I
again.
don't think you're a contrarian.
Well played. The contrarian bitch is up first.
Graham.
Oh.
Wait,
Uh,
no, Nick,
No, I'm joking. Yeah, Sonic
No.
the Hedgehog.
you're projecting. Clanky.
I have Pilotwings.
Graham.
Pilotwings.
What the fuck?
Taylor.
This is so amazing. I get to kill Sonic twice.
Oh
Pilotwings.
my
Let's
God.
go. Let's go.
And Christian.
I think I'd be more upset about my favorite thing on this bracket and probably a runner-up of one of my favorite games in the top 100 losing because that means the later Sonic games we talk about are probably not going to be marred by this entry. B, it meant that Lemmings went to go on to the next round, and C, I thought I had something planned for C, but you know what? Y'all just don't understand.
Cranberries.
I'm
Did you
voting for
start with
Sonic
1
the
and
Hedgehog.
2, and then did you go 1, 2, C?
Yeah, because I don't give a fuck. Sonic the Hedgehog. And I'm gonna have this
All
Sonic
right.
the Hedgehog party with Mick, and none of you are invited.
I
no.
don't want to be invited.
Well, you know
So you're
what?
gonna hang out with Mick. That's what you're saying.
Y'all gonna miss out then.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Sonic the Hedgehog party. 1, 2, C. Let's go, boys.
Can I just say, if you guys have a Sonic
Love
Hedgehog
you.
party where you just play Sonic the Hedgehog, I hope you have a good time. I really do.
You're not
Ain't no
allowed
party
to
like a
hope that we
Sonic
can
the
have a good
Hedgehog
time.
party.
You can't.
The Sonic
hope
Hedgehog
that.
party is unattended.
Me, Christian, and a hot chick heaven. Let's go, boys.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right.
Ba-dum, ba-da-bum.
I wonder
Okay.
if the corpse of Franklin knows any women. He's a skeleton now.
Damn.
Oh, Jesus. What did you
Sure.
cast on that guy?
Sure is an
Power
accelerating
kill.
spell,
Power-
huh?
Yeah, Graham cast Power Word Kill, but then he used his meta magic feat to add Ligma balls.
No, that
Christ.
is the power
That
word.
explains
It is
why his
Ligma.
testicles are still actually perfectly fine.
Oh wow.
Oh my God. All right. Street Fighter 2 versus F-Zero. Starting now with Clanky.
Yeah, I mean, Street Fighter 2 is I'm sorry, hold on. Where's the fucking list?
Milk, eggs, cheese.
You know
wait,
what?
that's the wrong list.
Skip me.
A floating shopping list.
Yeah, thank you for getting the joke. Graham.
Street Fighter: The Second Coming.
Yeah. Taylor.
You know, I was so sure I was going to vote for Street Fighter 2, but then it just occurred to me, would I rather play a mediocre racing game or a fighting game in general? And I think I might go with the racing game. So I guess
Okay.
I'll play F-Zero.
Yeah. Christian.
Fuck Zero, baby. Let's go.
That's how you could describe the last 2 years for me.
Oh.
Hey.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll get by.
Come back to me.
Okay.
Go back to Clanky then?
Go back to me.
Mikey. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Street Fighter 2 is a monumental title, but I'd probably be voting for it if it was Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Revival or Street Fighter 2 The World Warrior or Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition or Super Street Fighter 2 The New Challengers or Street Fighter
Well
2 Turbo
done.
Hyper Fighting or Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix or Hyper Street Fighter 2 The Anniversary Edition or Street Fighter 2 Turbo, but it's not, so I have to vote for F-Zero.
Okay, it's 3-1. Mick is a problem.
I'll give it to Street Fighter 2.
But
Yeah,
which
alright.
one?
Well, this is Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2.
Oh, okay.
Incidentally, I also realized I realized I could have also put up the sequel to Eye of the Beholder, which also came out in 1991 because games did that.
It didn't take 50 years to come up with a game, yeah.
I have the 2 holder.
Eye of the
Ah.
Beholder 2, Legend of
I have the beholder.
All right.
Actraiser versus Super Mario World. Starting with Clanky.
Oh, dude, it's Super Mario World.
I do know that. Graham.
I'm gonna vote for Actraiser.
Taylor.
Graham, don't you remember that one time we played Super Mario World together for like 5 minutes? And you died over and over again? Didn't you have a good
I think
time?
that's why.
I love Actraiser. I like Super Mario World much more.
Christian.
As much as I would love to enact sweet, sweet revenge on what just happened to Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario World is, look, let's be real with ourselves.
And Mick.
Actraiser.
Yeah,
It's
all
got
right.
Chow
3 to
Garden.
2. Yeah. 3 to 2 Super Mario World.
This headcanon is going to disappoint you later.
Oh,
What?
Well, you tell me.
Just let him live in that world.
Look, he's voting for it. He's getting excited about it, and I can't take that away from him.
Exactly. Cave Noir versus The Simpsons Arcade. Starting once again with Clanky.
The Simpsons Arcade, of course.
Simpsons brain.
Graham.
She walked into the room. Or should I say, she walked into the cave. She had legs the size of Rhode Island.
I was gonna do this bit if he didn't.
I haven't read that Coleridge. Taylor.
Voting for
Cave Noir, yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor.
I'm Tim. So.
Yeah. Okay. Christian.
We are gonna go with Cave Noir on this one.
2-2. Mick.
With throats on slaked, with black lips baked, agape they heard me call. Cave Noir.
Is it because it's got cave in the name?
I did think about that a little bit when I was researching this game.
Oh no, that wasn't actually.
I would not put it past Mick to vote for it under the merit that it has cave in the title.
No.
Yeah.
But Cave's in the game too.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
And
a big reason is I like these early roguelikes, which we'll get to. Come 1993.
It's a dungeon crawling roguelike. It's great.
Right. Battle of two very similar games, apparently. It's fucking Lemmings, I guess, versus Another World. Starting with Clanky.
I guess I'll fucking vote for Lemmings, I guess.
No.
You can't do this to me.
This is revenge, Mick. Consider it revenge for all
what?
the years.
Oh my god.
Do I need to list the games?
Literally pulls out the fucking go to work list that's SpongeBob.
Phone book.
Listen,
Graham.
Lemmings not get ahead of ourselves.
No, you guys
that
can't
makes
do
sense.
this.
I'm
It's not
voting for Lemmings, I guess.
It's not even my
No.
game. You guys can't do this.
Taylor.
11. Oh, wait.
no, we can't do this.
God.
Oh, we're doing this all right.
Let's
Christian.
go.
I eagerly await when Lemmings gets to Super Mario World, you motherfuckers.
It'll happen soon.
I'm voting for Another World.
Another world.
And Mick. Yeah. Okay.
Clanky,
Oh
I don't know why
my
you
God.
think that I'm your enemy. You started this.
I started this. You started it with WarioWare DIY.
Hey,
It
where
won!
was it?
Why are you upset? It beat my pick. I don't know why you think that you're the victim in that.
Because you use it as a punching bag at every opportunity you get, and this is the
Alright.
first time. This is the first time I get to dish it back. This is great.
Can I just say,
All
Clanky,
right.
I understand where you're coming from. It is not the first time.
Oh yeah.
There's not a
No,
first
that's
time for
fair.
anything in the Yearlies, but let's all recognize that these are fucking 1991 games. We're all
We are
gonna be
veteran
fine.
old people at this
Listen,
point.
we all know the high that we get when one of our favorite games of all time starts doing really well, right? That's
Yes,
what
I
I'm.
do the yearlies with Christian. I know.
That's what I'm going through. Right now.
Taylor's got his reticle on me at all times. It's pretty funny. I have to live up to the myth more often.
Oh my god. All right. Street Fighter 2 versus Pilotwings. The voting order has shifted. It is now Graham's turn. Great noise.
Street Fighter 2.
Taylor.
Get in the airplane, Shinji.
Neon Genesis Pilotwings. Christian. What is with the noises?
I do this every day.
What? Just go, ah!
Honestly, this skeleton, it's making some weird noises. I actually feel like it's about to reanimate itself.
Oh god, it's not even Halloween.
No, don't do it.
It might come out
Graham.
around Halloween, but it's not even Halloween. Christian, did you vote?
Oh, and I didn't realize you said my name. Yeah, no, Pilotwings.
did.
Pilotwings would be pretty cool if you could pilot an Eva in that game. I'm voting for Pilotwings.
Absolutely. Mick.
Street Fighter 2.
And it's tied up for Clanky.
Don't let the movie hurt you. I mean, help you. Don't do it.
Well, even though it's not Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo or Hyper Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition or Super Street Fighter 2 A Turbo HD Remix or Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers or Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting or Super Street Fighter 2 The New Challengers or Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition or Street Fighter 2 The World Warrior or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Revival, I will be voting for Street Fighter 2.
Fuck!
Wow.
Jordan,
Fuck!
I will give
Yeah.
you all the brownie points if you put up the box art of every single one of the titles he lists.
Oh,
They're
I'm
all
gonna
real
get some
games.
fucking brownies, baby.
He's
Brownies
about to
for me.
eat. He's about to
Brownies
eat.
for me, baby. All right.
I went through some of the entries, and I owe Mick an apology. Besides most Pokemon games and most Mario games, he really doesn't shit on my entries too much. But what I did realize is that Taylor sometimes does.
Oh no!
Prepare the
So
lemmings.
this is
Prepare the
a
lemmings.
betrayal.
So my point being is that I have had the wrong enemy this entire time.
Are you?
Oh.
And I just wanted to apologize.
Mikey and Taylor are enemies.
I can't
Oh,
believe
God.
you would throw me under the bus like that.
This really is war, ain't it?
Listen, I'm sorry. If I
Taylor,
didn't,
there's a way of getting
didn't
around
prepare
this.
myself.
Use
Let me ask
Franklin's
Clanky,
body
Clanky.
to threaten him.
I'm still trying to reanimate the
Weekend
skeleton.
at Franklin.
Clanky, what games, first of all? Because sometimes you think I'm bashing a game when I'm not. Like, you think I bashed Breath of the Wild, and I didn't.
Rhythm Heaven?
I
Mega
love
Mix
Rhythm
for
Heaven.
sure.
Okay, Rhythm
Wait.
Heaven, yes.
Oh, Rhythm
Heaven
DS.
DS?
Whoops. Yeah.
But I love
Um,
Megamix. You bashed Megamix.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Mash is a strong word. You just said it wasn't as good as Fever.
And I'll give you
What's
one
that
more,
from,
Clanky. I
Nick?
bashed Tomodachi Life for sure.
Well, that's me too. Me too,
Oh my
you
gosh,
motherfucker.
to be honest, it usually happens more through the movie leads than it does the game leads.
Well,
You
listen,
did it with
I'm,
you did it with Alice in Wonderland. You did it with Up. You did it with
well, I apologize
see.
for those.
Well,
I
that's the
did
thing.
say
If we
I did-
hold
no, no.
ourselves to
I
every
did come and
individual
said,
vote
Clanky,
that
I
we
wish
make,
I liked these more.
if we hold
Fair enough.
ourselves to each individual vote that we make, we're gonna start having some. We're gonna start
Like,
having some
No,
spice.
no. All I'm saying is, Clanky,
Okay.
you have to ask yourself, am I doing it with vitriol and anger? Mick is doing it to spite you.
Okay.
I'm doing it like it's a shame.
Okay, you definitely voted out Sonic with vitriol and anger.
Actraiser versus Eye of the Beholder, starting with Graham.
As much as Actraiser intrigues me, Eye of the Beholder it does play the Dungeons and Dragons card. So
Yeah, it's the D&D one.
Okay, so we go to Taylor.
Actraiser.
We go to Christian.
I'm not a huge fan of what I've seen of Actraiser's 2D segments, so I'm gonna vote for Eye of the Beholder.
Mick.
I have the Beholder.
And Clanky.
Eye of the Beholder.
That's
Wow, I
4 to
can't
1.
believe you
It's
spited me, Mick. Clanky.
Eye of the Beholder, it's the thrill of the
Yeah, my
fight.
bad.
All right.
Mine
God,
might
Clanky
be.
is always so awful to my picks. Did you see how fucking
Oh.
I
angrily
know.
he voted for
You're-
Eye of the Beholder
Just
over
wait
Actraiser?
until we get
He
to
was so
Donkey Kong
angry.
64.
Oh, that's gonna be a great Yearlies.
Clanky?
All right.
Clanky, I'm gonna have to lay ground rules when we get there.
No
Because-
ground rules, motherfucker.
All right.
You can't censor us.
Simpsons Arcade versus Final Fantasy IV, starting with Graham.
Final Fantasy IV.
Very good.
Oh.
Taylor.
Dude, the Simpsons arcade game is supposed to go on much farther than this. It's one of the best
Yeah.
games on this bracket. It really
Yeah.
fucking is.
If Clanky had put it up, it probably would.
But
Oh,
but-
damn.
I like Final
You did.
Fantasy IV.
Yeah. Go for it. Okay. Question. Christian.
Don't count the Simplins out yet. I'm voting for the Simpsos arcade.
Mick?
God save the ancient mariner from the fiends that plague thee thus. I'm voting for the Simpsons arcade.
Yo! And Clanky.
I wonder if that restaurant's still around. Hold up.
What if I voted for
Yearly's
Final
road
Fantasy
trip.
right now?
Do it, motherfucker.
Do what you want. I don't
Everyone
care, man.
says, "What if I voted
No.
for blank?" and then they never do it.
Yeah, and I will continue that trend. I'm voting for
Guys?
Simpsons Arcade.
I have
Cool.
good news.
Yep, it's still here. It's the one in
Serving the
Connecticut, right?
public for over 40 years.
But it's
And
still a-
Graham and
Wow.
Christian, the first thing on the menu is fried calamari.
But does
Hell
it
yeah.
have? the
Hell
cabinet?
yeah.
Does it have the cabinet?
I can almost promise you it doesn't.
Oh well, okay.
Yeah, I
Because-
bet their calamari is really good.
Right.
Arcade
I
cabinets
had
are real.
fried calamari last night. It was very good because it also had.
Ooh.
I had it with sweet chili sauce for the first time.
Oh, great! Oh my god!
A rare,
don't get to
rare
have-
adventurous moment from Graham.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I don't get to have calamari enough because I live with two people that don't like calamari. So,
Oh,
but
calamari is so
try.
good.
Another World versus Super Castlevania 4, starting with Graham still.
Super Castlevania 4.
He's gonna.
Yes, I love this. This is great. Taylor.
I'm sorry, Mick. In another world, I would have voted for it. Super Castlevania 4.
Yeah.
You're not sorry, and I know it.
See, this is the thing.
Christian.
This is the problem with Lemmings beating Another World because I have to vote for Super Castlevania 4. You know what? No. I'm voting for Another
you
World.
don't?
Fuck all of you. I'm voting for Another World.
All right, Nick.
Another world.
Clanky.
Super Castlevania 4.
Oh, I tried. I did
Yeah.
try.
Thank you, Christian.
That would have been
Wouldn't
so
be
funny if it
feelings.
happened. All right.
And you know, Mick, when you get mad at me, I bet in those moments you forget all the times that we've been friends.
Oh, truly, and I want to let you know if the roles were reversed, I would be nothing but overjoyed that someone else's favorite game is losing.
God.
All right. Eye of the Beholder versus Street Fighter 2. The voting order has shifted. It is now Taylor's turn.
And I'll be nice to Mick right now. Eye of the Beholder.
Cool. Christian.
As much as I like the Street Fighter movie, I think I'm gonna give this one to Eye of the Beholder.
It's Eye of the Beholder from Streets.
Oh my god. Nick.
Eye of the Beholder. Let's go, boys.
Correct
Clanky.
me if I'm wrong. Eye of the Beholder is the Dungeons and Dragons one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess if we were talking about Street Fighter 2 Warrior of the Warrior Street Fighter 2 Special Edition, or Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, or Super Street Fighter 2 The New Challengers, or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or Hyper Street Fighter 2 The Anniversary Edition, or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, or Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challenges, I might be voting for it, but it's not. So I have to vote for Eye of the Beholder.
Graham, what are you voting for in this one?
I hate Dungeons and Dragons. That's the lie of the Beholder. I'm voting for.
He's done it. He's done it. Evil Graham.
Game over.
Oh wow,
Super
that was a
Castlevania.
5-0? Holy shit.
It was Super Castlevania 4 versus The Simpsons Arcade. Starting again with Taylor.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Franklin's alive. Oh, my God.
Hey, it's Franklin.
Hey, guys. It's me, Franklin. I'm a skeleton.
But are you a turtle?
As a skeleton, I've learned that the Simpsons arcade game is not nearly as good as Halloween-styled games like Super Castlevania 4.
Wow.
This is how you justify it. All right.
So don't blame me.
Christian.
Blame Franklin.
I am
Yeah.
starting to wonder why I had Super Castlevania 4 as my number one pick because I'm voting for the
Oh my
Simpsons
God.
arcade game.
That's because
Whoa.
you're mean.
Yes, I am. Fuck you,
Nick.
Taylor.
Clanky, I
Dabs.
promise you, your vitriol to me has no comparison to my vitriol for Christian.
Taylor wants to strangle me. I don't understand.
I know. I want to be. I want to hate you the most.
Oh,
And this is why I will always make it my mission to make you suffer.
Oh,
That's
dear
because we
God.
get along so well outside of this.
This is
Pebbles, bam, bam.
Like, Jordan, can you put up one Christian and Taylor are friends just for the sake of?
I can
Psychonauts
try.
2.
Yes. I can make one for this. And
I actually am
6
friends
months.
with Christian.
I know that. It's great.
Well, yeah, but just the audience know that.
I hope we're all friends with each other. Admittedly.
Oh, we are. We absolutely.
This will
are.
be the Yearlies that breaks us up.
This one of all year 91.
It's
Yeah.
Lemmings. It's all because of
I think
Lemmings.
Graham's hatred for Clanky in real life, though, kind of gets in the way of our friendship sometimes.
You know, if anyone was going to hate me, it was going to be.
Yeah.
All right, Mick, vote.
That was such an evolution of the joke.
I'm sorry. I'm just the everything that
It's
just
great.
happened. You know. Yeah.
It's great.
All right. So yeah, the loud would never reach the ship, and yet now the ship moved on. The Simpsons Arcade.
I love this bit so much.
What's the score, by the way?
It is
2-1
2-1
Simpsons
to
Arcade.
Arcade.
We go on to Clanky. Oh,
Simpsons Arcade.
Ooh,
Oh, no!
and Graham.
Super Castlevania IV lost the curse. The curse. Ah!
Super Castlevania 4.
Okay, I'm sad I don't get to hear that again.
Franklin
Oh.
just fell into a pile of bones.
Bye, Franklin.
Oh, nice. That must be really good for him. F-Zero
deck of this
versus Super Mario World.
Taylor.
Hey, Clanky, are you sure that I'm not in your support?
Listen, man. If you need to, if you're trying to hurt me, I think I deserve it after this Yearlies. So go ahead. It's
You deserve
okay.
nothing, Clanky. Super Mario World is the best game on this bracket, and I'm glad you know that.
This is true.
Okay. Christian.
Super Mario World.
Dixie. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Donkey Kong 3.
Adventures
Okay.
of
Adventures of
Lolo
Lolo
1.
one.
Anyway.
Just wait until you
Sorry.
see what I have planned.
That funky bossa nova beat.
man. Great. That means that Mick is up.
F-Zero.
Clanky.
Harvest Moon.
Super Mario World.
Chris, you were saying.
And Graham.
Super Mario Zawardo.
Okay.
Super
Okay.
Mario World.
Well, folks, let's see how long this fucking bit lasts. Cave
Fucking
Noire
Lemmings,
versus
I guess.
fucking versus that. Taylor.
Oh God, this is too hard. Come back to me.
Christian.
If you vote for Lemmings, I'm going to kill you. Cave Noire.
I think I've made a decision.
Oh my God.
I
Mick.
keep going.
Cave Noir.
Okay. Clanky.
What you didn't realize, Christian, is that I'm fucking depressed. I'm voting for Lemmings.
I am.
Ugh.
Oh, you all just signed your death certificates.
Graham.
Hey, Christian,
Oh,
I want you
no.
to look me in the eye.
No,
I wanna look you
refuse.
in the
I
eye.
refuse to reach you with this respect. I refuse.
I don't care.
I send it
I'm,
back. I send
I'm
it back.
deciding to look you in the eye as I say I'm voting
He
for
holds him with
Lemmings.
his glittering eye. The wedding guest stood
No.
still and listens like a 3-year child. The mariner hath his will.
Taylor, it's tied up.
I want you to look into your heart.
And you would find the answer.
Jesus. Oh, I guess whatever happens, it would be funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I want to do it, but
No.
I think I'd like Cave Noir more.
And
Oh,
finally,
God.
the evil is defeated for now.
All right, Taylor just
No anything but this. No. I changed my vote. I'm voting for fucking Lemmings, I guess.
No, I'm sorry. It's final.
Shit.
I changed my vote if it'll make McAfee. No,
And the panic in his voice.
Okay. F-Zero versus the Simpsons Arcade. Starting now with Christian.
Mick has received the mark of death. You are next on the hit list. It's only been me and Mick too. Lemmings has only gone up against me in Mick's games. I'm voting for F-Zero. No. I'm voting for the Simpsons Arcade.
Mick.
Why looks thou so with my crossbow? I shot the albatross.
Clanky.
This is actually a pretty tough vote.
Yeah.
I think my love for The Simpsons outweighs my newfound love for F-Zero, so I'm voting for The Simpsons Arcade.
F-Zero.
he prayeth best, who loveth best, all things both great and small. For the dear God who loveth all, loveth us, he made us and loveth all.
Hey
The
guys,
Simpsons Arcade.
what's the bit here?
Oh,
The rhyme
so
of the
the
ancient
game.
mariner.
So Taylor played the game Sims Arcade in that story in a restaurant called The Ancient Mariner, and so I've been quoting from the
The rhyme
Samuel
of the
Taylor
ancient
College
mariner.
poem, "The Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner."
I see. Understood.
All right, here we go. Lemmings, fucking Lemmings, I guess, versus Eye of the Beholder.
It's up
Kristen.
to us. We have to cast it into the fire. The Eye of the Beholder. Kill the
Mick.
evil.
Oh well,
Nick.
I feel
The power of Coleridge compels you. Eye of the Beholder, I guess. All right.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said I am the beholder.
I thought you were doing more Coleridge.
No,
All right.
I said I am the beholder.
Okay. Okay. Clanky.
Fuck.
Do not
I
resist.
voted for it. I voted for it above Street Fighter 2, so I guess it's only fair to vote for Eye of the Beholder here as well.
It has been done.
Graham.
The day has been saved.
Yes.
What
that's
can
me.
I do to convince you to change your vote?
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Is that if I do change my vote, it's going to be very costly to you.
Here, Clanky, I'll make life easier for you, Graham. I'll tell you what you have to do. Share one fun thing you like about Lemmings.
Yes, a bit.
Wait, but
Their
that's not-
name.
That's literally it.
They have a very funny name.
Lemmings. It's
Oh my
true. They do
God.
have a very
The
Lemmings.
name is
Guys, you can't put this game into the Final Four. I will
Lemmings
not
is
allow
a funny
you to.
name.
Lemmings
Jordan?
is probably a good game, though, is the thing. Like,
Jordan,
we're
you
shitting on
are
it
a
like this is
referee
bad
or
video
not a
game.
player.
I will break my Uwatsu the Watcher vow to make sure Lemmings does not get into the
Guys,
Final Four.
I'm sorry. I take every nice thing I've said about Lemmings back. Graham just sent me another yacht. I'm voting for Eye of the Beholder. I don't care if it's not
Okay.
my vote.
Okay,
You
cool.
made
Can
it
we
four.
Can we replace Lemmings with Another World, please?
Graham has been his undoing. He has been
Graham,
entwined in the twist of fate.
What are you voting for here, Graham?
Imagine he votes for Eye of the Beholder after all of that.
Yeah, I have the holder. Fuck it.
Graham has no loyalty.
right.
He's done.
That's fucked, dude.
All right, Final Four. Okay.
Lemmings.
Wow.
I think this is the happiest I've ever been with a Final Four.
This is pretty cool.
I
Yeah.
cannot believe Cave Noir did it. This almost makes up for Sonic the Hedgehog. Almost.
Wow. Okay. Simpsons Arcade versus Eye of the Beholder. It made it to the Final Four, so whatever happens now is just icing on top. We're still starting with Christian.
The Simpcade.
Cool. Mick.
Sorry, I'm just reeling from the emotional whiplash.
Yeah.
That was the
Oh,
biggest
sweeter than the
Yearlies-
marriage feast is sweeter far to me. I would beholder.
Nice. Clanky.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Graham.
Hey, Jordan, you should open up your windowsill. I baked you a pie of the beholder.
Apple?
Can I just say I'm imagining Jordan like beginning to float in the air with his
Yes.
being held up by the smoke.
Which is another Family Guy reference, isn't it?
I was thinking of a Looney Tunes bit, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, sorry. What am I thinking? It's tied up for Taylor. Do what you want, man. I don't care.
Yeah,
What?
I'm
Did you guys
inclined
not
to.
get it? That was part of the Simpsons theme song. It's where
Oh, I
Homer
thought that-
screams
oh,
in the car.
Oh, I didn't hear anything because it was silent. for a
Oh,
moment.
did Discord cut out?
Oh, I was about to
no.
say Taylor reciting the half rest in the middle of the song. I guess.
I was doing Homer screaming from the car running up to him to indicate more of the Simpsons theme song because I'm voting for the Simpsons Arcade.
Amazing.
Yeah, we didn't hear that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I could have quoted more. I'll tell you what, Mick. I was gonna do more Ancient Mariner, but I only caught on to the bit like halfway through, so I kind of tuned out which lines you had already read.
Okay.
Come on out of me. Yeah. All right. Super Mario World versus Cave Noir. Starting
I'm
with
afraid.
Christian.
I want to say right now, I'm very afraid.
Yeah, you should be. You
I'm
should
afraid.
be.
I've
Fucking
been-
Lemmings, I guess.
Hang on, Christian. I worked together to destroy Lemmings.
You
all
also
right?
work together to kill Sonic, so at best
So
you're
I'm
even.
a neutral
You're
character.
even.
That makes me neutral.
Skip my vote.
I'm a neutral
Okay.
human being.
Mick.
Cave Noir.
Clanky.
Super Mario Worlds. Come on.
Graham.
He came up to me with an important case. Someone had
Oh
her
my God.
husband murdered. But could she have done it herself? I don't know. We all
Taylor.
live in the same cave.
Taylor.
Oh man.
This is why I wanted to vote for Lemmings last round, genuinely. Because I saw this. I saw this coming. I'm
Too
like,
late now, motherfucker.
look, man, who do you really think is going to get hurt the most?
I haven't
do you
said
want-
what I'm voting for yet.
All right.
I've already been hurt as much as I can be.
Well, I vote for Super Mario World because it's the best game on the bracket.
Facts.
Christian, we're back to you.
Now here's the thing. I really want Cave Noir to get second place. That would be really, really legit. So I think I'm just gonna have to put my faith in that maybe, just maybe, it can beat The Simpsons Arcade.
It
Because
can't.
I don't.
Christian, You know it can't.
God, I don't. But you know what? As much as I want this to happen, I cannot rig the bracket. I have to vote for Super Mario World.
Right on.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
And besides, yes,
And
Cave
now-
Noir can't win. It's whatever. Fine. It gets third.
Cave Noir versus The Simpsons Arcade. The voting order has shifted. It is now Mick's turn.
The self-same moment I could pray and from my neck so free, the albatross for life and sank that like lead into the sea.
All the life in him is just gone.
I'm so sorry.
And Cave
Simpsons
Noir was
Arcade.
not one of his games.
Simpsons Arcade? All right.
I just want Super Mario World to lose.
Okay.
Wow,
Thank you.
hater alert.
Yeah. Hey, Clanky. You see, she's mad. He's got the vitriol. He's not sorry.
Hey, Mick, can I
Not
tell you?
bad.
Super Mario World won. I'm sorry, Mick.
I'm so
Clanky.
happy. I could never be happier. I'm voting for The Simpsons Arcade.
I'm pretty happy too. Graham.
He had legs like a lemon.
Taylor.
Do you guys remember when I said that the 90s are going to be Clanky's years?
Yeah.
Well, take a look at the top two. Simpsons Arcade.
We finally done
Yes. And Christian.
Wait, what's the vote right now? It's definitely 4-0,
3-1
right?
Simpsons Arcade.
3-1 Simpsons Arcade. All right, well, I gotta be completely fucking real right now. I didn't think Cave Noir was gonna make it past round 2. So, and you know what? Cave Noir survived against Lemmings. That you can't say that about a lot of
That
games.
was because
on here.
I was merciful.
Cave Noir was able to fight off Lemmings, not win, but fight it
Wow.
off just long enough for it to get
Insane.
cast into the fire. And you know what? I think we should all thank Cave Noir.
Also,
for that.
Cave Noir beat the Simpsons Arcade the second time around. The first time.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Nick, did you change your mind?
I think he got really into the Ancient Mariner that it stopped being about the Simpsons Arcade. It just
Kinda.
became about, I
Well,
want to quote these
Mick,
lines.
All right.
Mick, you
Also,
decided
I'd
we
rather-
got second
I'd rather
place.
This is the thing. I'd rather see Simpsons Arcade win than Super Mario World.
It's
Well,
not
will
gonna-
it? Let's find out. Because this is a matchup we haven't seen before. Super Mario World versus The Simpsons Arcade. Mick, we start with you.
The Simpsons Arcade.
Let,
Okay.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
Clanky.
Mario World, you can do it. Please. You got this.
Graham.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
The Simpsons.
It's the-
Taylor. Taylor.
Hey guys, it's me, Franklin, again. I've reanimated myself twice just to fucking give one more vote to skeleton people. And I think the Simpsons Arcade is a really cool game, but if Simpsons Arcade can beat Super Castlevania IV, then I'm the rightful one, and Super Mario World has to win. And I'll just let Franklin have my vote because he's in the Mafia, and I don't really have a choice in what he
Yeah.
does.
Way to go, Franklin. And Christian.
And so, to cap off Super Mario World's victory, allow me to recite the theme of the first level. Super Mario World wins!
All right.
All right.
Let's
Lemmings sweep.
fucking
We did it.
go.
That
Oh,
was actually
dude.
a cool one.
I hope whoever made
Yes!
Lemmings is in prison.
I
for
am
tax
perfectly
embezzlement.
fine I am perfectly fine with the Simpsons Arcade losing because it got very far, and
it's just
we
it's,
all
made,
got to
it's guaranteed a spot on the second place finals.
No, on the second one, yeah.
Which is
yeah,
great.
absolutely. It is. I'm happy with that.
Well, at least everyone else is
Great
happy.
popcorn.
I'm
Yes.
never happy. That's not fair.
Can I make a request for the ending tag? And you're allowed to say no.
Oh, please, if you're asking,
Can we
then you
have
should.
Can we have Franklin do it?
Hey, it's Franklin.
Well, let me see. He fell into it. He keeps dying. So I
think it would make sense if he did the end tag, Taylor.
How about we just end it? Let's just end it.
It's gonna be okay, Mick. It's gonna be okay.
No, it's not. Because 2 of my picks lost to Lemmings.
It's gonna be okay. Mick. Just breathe.
My number 1 and number 2 pick lost to Lemmings.
It's 1991.
It's 1991.
Oh my god.
Jay Leno, get out of here.
Yes,
All right.
Mario World.
Clanky, do you still want me to be the more spiteful of the two? I'm just
Huh?
like
I'm not getting involved in fights anymore. I've decided
All
it
right.
makes me feel bad.
All right.
Yo,
I
let's
can
go.
I don't care that Super Mario World won.
Alright.
I just don't want to lose to
Alright.
Lemmings.
Hold up. Hold up.
you want
We
me to do
should
it?
probably call the show.
Hey guys, it's me, Franklin, Taylor's cousin here. Back one more time. I guess this is the Yearlies. I kind of stumbled into this. I was just here to rob this guy's house. I'm not really his cousin.
Franklin, you sound
But
a
you
lot
know,
like Taylor.
you live, you learn, you love. So thank you for watching the 1991 Yearlies. I guess there's some links to others. Someone's
I fired my
I know
gun.
who's playing the crickets because they think that this bit isn't working because they're salty. And that's fine.
it's still working.
Just here's a link to other videos, and stay tuned for 1992, where hopefully we'll get the years correct. And we just love you, except for you, Dan.
Bye.